Hello, people. Welcome to the Fair One podcast. We're about to kick off with the first time us doing the BKFC card. So it should be interesting. I've never done one of these cards before. So here's the intro, guys. And we are off, people. We're off. Yeah, I don't know how the fights go. I'm not sure. I've never done I've watched it before, but I've never done it before. I'm actually interested in it. Exotic Sweat says 2, and Christian Laurent says greetings, Fab. Greetings, Christian. Yeah, I like I do like bare knuckle boxing in its I don't know, the concept of it. I like it. I like its history. I like that before this, what a lot of people don't know, before it was boxing, like the Marks Queensberry rules, it was the Jack Broughton rules. And before that, it was basically MMA, but you just had to win the fight. Headbutts, biting, submissions, fish hooking, everything went. So MMA's been around for a long time. And then it gradually got civilized, if you will. And so now we're back to these bare knuckle boxing rules. So it's interesting. There's a lot of mechanics that are different as well when you're fighting bare knuckles. There's a lot of mechanics that are different when you go from 16s, 12s, 8s, 4s, no gloves. So it's interesting. I like it. The only thing is, and this I mean is no disrespect to any of the elite guys that are competing now, but we're not really seeing like the top end people with striking and boxing and whatnot going over to bare knuckle boxing at the top of their game. So, and also the rules, the rounds are short rounds. They're short amount of rounds and short rounds. So I think actually I lie. I may have done the Malignaggi fight versus Artem Lobov. So this might be the second one that we're doing. So yeah, it's interesting, just the way that you have to set up your shots, the way you have to strike, the way you can block. You have to be very careful, and the way that these rounds are done, they're like short rounds, and not a lot of rounds. So, and that's also, I think, even more testament to the fact that people aren't really ready for bare knuckle boxing yet. Like, because back in the day, it was much longer rounds. Like a guy like Hector, I think Hector in his prime, would have been like, I don't know who the fuck would beat Hector Lombard in bare knuckle boxing 10 years ago with these short rounds, like 2-minute rounds, monster, dude. But he's not Hector from 10 years ago. Hector from 10 years ago, man, I think nobody would beat him in this rule set. Let's see what we got here, guys. Joseph says, what's going on, Hefe? How was your week? First time watching BKFC, or what I call a regular Tuesday back in high school. Yeah, this is recess at Ashcroft High School. Yeah, man, my week's been really good, man. My week's been good, and yeah, just doing what I do. How are you, my friend? Sasank says, greetings from Toronto. Fab, greetings, sir. Roy C says, hey, Fab, how are you, sir? Sasank says, it's very violent. The thing is, I don't know that it's very violent. I've seen bare knuckle boxing before, not like, just this I think it's the second time I've called it. The thing is that it cuts people. You know what I mean? It cuts people. That's more than anything. Like the actual trauma, and that is not necessarily as bad. It just rips people open because you have like no gloves. But the major danger here is breaking your hands. Gloves were made to protect the hands, not to protect the face or anything else. James Hanold says, hey, Fab, happy to catch you live, brother. No, thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Christian Lorenz says, the battle of women. Yes, sir. Fenabab says, are you going to show the show? I am not. I am not, sir. Sasank says, if you like BKFC, watch Lethway. It's bare knuckle, Muay Thai, and headbutts. Yeah, no, Lethway is very hardcore, dude. It's also very hardcore. I don't necessarily like love either one of those. What the fuck are they wearing at the weigh-ins? Like it it's they were wearing like these weird fucking outfits of women, you know. Um, yeah, I don't necessarily, like I said, I don't necessarily go, oh, I want to, I'm a big fan of this necessarily right now, but I'm a fan of where that comes from, you know. And Lethway is like bare knuckle boxing back in the day before the Jack Broughton rules. Um, Andre says, can't imagine how difficult it is fighting with a broken hand. Most of these BK fighters break their hands pretty quick. Yeah, you will fucking shatter your hands. Like if you start hitting the heavy bags, not just your hands, your wrists. You'll break your wrists a lot of the times. But these guys have their wrists wrapped up, so it's they'll be able to put a fair bit of force behind that. But it's quite easy to break your hand, break a knuckle because you only have to hit someone in the top of the head, and then it's game over. You'll shatter your hand, like it's not elbows. If you punch an elbow, it's a big problem. If you just don't punch right and your hands kind of bend, you're gonna. If people specialize in bare knuckle boxing, I think you're gonna see change of stance. Um, like people, you see people standing more. I'm gonna stand like this. You see people standing more like this, and they can protect a little bit more with the elbow, and you can hit back across the bridge of the nose. It was something that was quite often used back in the day. Um, and I'm going to find the person so I can credit him correctly, that he was speaking on it. So if you get a chance to go and look at him, let me see if I can find him. So if you go to English martial arts and you listen to this guy, he's a very knowledgeable guy on the history of bare knuckle boxing in England. So it's English martial arts. He talks about Jack Slack, not Jack Slack, the podcaster, who's brilliant, but he talks about Jack Slack, the boxer. And he actually was a guy who beat Jack Broughton back in the day. And he beat him using that punch backwards, because that punch you're hitting with the actual knuckles across the brow, bridge of the nose kind of area. You don't see that today because most of the punches are coming in straight in boxing and even in MMA because there's a padding on the gloves. But when you don't have that padding on the gloves, but even these guys have their knuckles a little bit covered as well. So you will see changes in it, I think. You have to, as it develops. No, they don't have padding. Yeah, so as it develops into its own thing, I think you're going to start seeing a much bigger change in the techniques. Joseph says, no shows, brother, just live commentary. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, says, Assalamu alaikum, Uncle Fab. You're famous now in Belgium hospitals under the nurses. I was watching the preview earlier today after surgery. Nice. Thank you. Are you all right? What you going to surgery for, my friend? Christian Laurent says Masvidal would thrive in bare knuckle. He probably would. But I mean, I don't think he wouldn't. He's got great hands. He comes from a street fighting background. A good boxer. Absolutely. I think he'd do very, very, very well. Pip Dennison says, good morning, Hefe. Good morning, everyone. How are you, sir? Joseph says, I would assume it's less dangerous for the fighters since they can't go 100% on the punches. It's less dangerous as far as trauma, like the rounds are shorter. The bare knuckles means you can't load up like the same way that you were before. But it tears your face to shreds. It absolutely tears your face to shreds. So then I don't know what that does to you long term as far as like the scar tissue, your nose, your face, everything will just get absolutely mashed. Absolutely mashed. So I don't know what that does. And the end of the day, whilst you're not getting hit as hard, but you're still getting hit fucking hard. You're still getting hit hard. And the rounds are shorter, so the guys are throwing pretty hard as well. Roy says lots of KOs. The sport is so green. I think there's often a big skill difference between the fighters. That's the other thing I was going to say to you. It's hard to get a gauge right now because you'll have guys that you have a Hector Lombard who was Bellator champion, could have been UFC champion. Very very good fighter, Olympian. Like this is what the level of guy you're talking about as a monster. He's a bit of a veteran now, but he's still a fucking monster, dude. Like a monster versus guys, that are relatively green to combat, and you can't, I just gave that as an example. I'm not talking about his previous fights, or whatever. I'm just giving you an example of the kind of guy you could be up against, so it's still in many ways like the early UFC days where you do have those mismatches. Planet Hunter says, what is the time in NZ? I have no idea. Probably 3 hours, I think, ahead of us. Andre says, why do you think a lot of bare knuckle fighters headhunt and ignore body attack? Curious. I think the rounds are a little shorter. I think what we spoke about earlier, there's a skill discrepancy as well. Like there's not a lot of rounds either. Like they're not fighting 12 rounds or anything. And so it's a little bit harder to hunt the body and hurt people to the body and capitalize on it long term over a relatively short fight. That's my hypothesis on that. And it's a short round too. The guy's coming at you hard and strong, like right off the bat. The boys touch gloves. And we are off, people. Tomlinson in the red trunks and Warren in the dark trunks. No, Warren, I'm sorry. Warren is in the blue trunk, in the black trunks. Tomlinson in the red. Warren in the southpaw stance. Both guys looking really good. Both guys trying to establish a jab early on. Warren with a left-hand lead. Misses. Tomlinson comes in, head hunting. Ooh, big left hand by Warren. Taken on the elbow by Tomlinson. And that's where it gets dangerous because you can't just load up. You can take it on the elbows. Man, both these guys are going pretty hard. Now they're inside in the clinch. Tomlinson with some brutal uppercuts. Hits Warren with a left hand. A nice hook by Warren. Both boys exchange lead hands with Tomlinson getting the better of it. Oh, nice left hand by Warren straight down the pipe. Oh, my God. What a nice left hand right on the chin of Tomlinson. There's not a lot of space either. Like, I mean, there's more space, right? So that's a fight. There's more space. So if you're used to the gloves, like you can't even put your hands up like this, because the bare knuckles will get through. Big hands, big shots. How hard they're throwing early like that is like someone's going to get knocked out, And there's so much space, like you can't block certain ways. Lead left hand right on the chin. Nice left hand. Straight down the middle. Warren hit him right on the chin. And his eyes went. Wow. What a shot. Daniel Alves says, man, finishing the drink already. Oh, yeah, I finished the first one. Now I'm on to my second drink. So Sank says the back fist is underrated, also in Taekwondo too. I think anytime you have those bare knuckles, it changes a lot of the strikes that you would have normally thrown. Dude is still out. He's still on the floor, still out. That was a big shot, man. Hassan Ahmed says, hey, Fab, Patient Zero checking in from the boiling UK. How are you, my friend? I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad that you are okay, and I'm glad that you're here, man. Thank you very much. Chuck Les says, I was watching Baz Ruten's pancrase fights. That man can slap. He wasn't just slapping. He'd pull his hands back, really. So he was kind of punching with the palm of his hand, hitting like that. Brutal that back in the day, man, the way he hit. Oh yeah. Oh, you're the yes. Oh yeah. Got rid of those damn wisdom teeth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They started and pushed my other teeth, so I had to get them extracted. I'm doing good, Uncle Fab, but I said some questionable things to the nurse when I woke up. It's okay, man. When you're under mild anesthetics, it's okay. CSS says, who wins, Sandman or TJ? I don't know, man. I don't know. That one, like I said before, I think it's a bit of an enigma for me because I haven't seen TJ for a couple of years. I don't know what he's going to look like. Wow. What a shot, man. Left hand lead. Big shot. Boom. Who win? Jack Borman says, what's your favorite kind of curry, Fab? Please don't say mild butter chicken. You're a man of culture. Um, I like lentil curries. I like different like red lentil curries. I do. Um, my wife makes curries. I don't. It doesn't have necessarily a name. I like fish curries. I really, really do like a good fish curry. Sometimes you catch like a fish, like nice big fleshy fish, like groper, or even sometimes you catch fish that don't taste that good, like a not the Atlantic salmon, but we have the Australian salmon here. They're not the best when you just eat them like that. But if you take out the flesh and you put it in a nice curry, you really get a lot of bang a buck for your fish, you know. So I like a good fish curry with depending on the fish. I wouldn't use like salmon. I wouldn't use. I'm sorry. Certain types of salmon. I wouldn't use snapper. I wouldn't use brim. I'd maybe use groper, although groper is very nice to eat by itself. I wouldn't use drummer because I like eating them by like just as the fish is what it is. But if you use any of those fleshy fish for a curry, it's also very, very nice. I actually have some yellowfin tuna that when I'm done here, I'm going to see with butter and garlic and have that with a little bit of wasabi. So hopefully that answered your question, sir. Hassan Ahmed says, Jack Borman, have a biryani if you've never had it before. I've had that actually, the biryani, Hassan Ahmed. I'm not saying if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but they are delicious, 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 delicious. I'm lucky, like in Sydney, we have some really good Indian restaurants. Um, so they have some really good curries as well. There's a Indian place up the road from me, and I always get like the lentil curries and that. Pip Dennison says, still laughing at the moistness story, mate. It was a good story, my friend. Hassan Ahmed says butter chicken and kormas are westernized. If you want the proper stuff, it wouldn't be a korma or a vindaloo. Hassan Ahmed, by the way, guys, is the authority on curries. He's someone that's guided me through the rough and tumble world of curries. And thanks to him, I've become a better connoisseur of a good curry. Drew Doc says, Fab, honest opinion, is this a fighting event or a get more followers on certain sites event for the two main fighters? What I don't understand exactly what you mean. Like, it is definitely a fighting event. I think that Paige VanZant became kind of the face of this organization in a way, and she's on a good contract. You know, probably more than she was in the UFC. So it's definitely a fight event, and I'm sure they want more followers. So it's both. Um, Hassan Ahmed says, Fab, try pumpkin and prawn curry from your local Bengali restaurant. I will be all over that, mate. I will be all over that. I 100% will. Um, KL77 says, what time will the main event kick off? I don't know, dude. I don't know what time. This is the first fight. Hassan Ahmed says, what is the moistness story? And the moistness story, I told this story about this gronk that I used to work with. And he, he had his wife was we all went to dinner. We all went to dinner and she goes, she was just talking to us. And he looks like a gronk. She was way too good looking for him. And then my mate go, well, what the, you know, she seemed normal as well. And then one day we're just there and she goes to me and my friend, she goes, hey, she says, do you ever watch Thor? And we both said, no, I don't know, whatever. And she goes, I love watching Thor. He makes me moist. And as she said it at the dinner table like that, like, but she said it like that, she says, he makes me moist in front of everyone at the dinner table. And that is the moistness story. But there's a whole other story that goes with it. Um, Hassan Ahmed says, Drew Doc says, I mean, in terms of their objectives, I would, well, they definitely want to win their fight, dude. They'd definitely be looking at it like a fight, 100%, you know. And Paige VanZant, like Hassan Ahmed said, did quite well for herself with this card. Joshua Sikes versus Antonio Soto the third is about to kick off. Antonio Soto is a little bit shorter, but he is the favorite. Okay, so let's see this. I'm not fully familiar with these guys, so I've seen Antonio Soto before though. Champion Bloke says 1 foot out the door, chipping in. You're a champion, mate. Helps a lot. I really appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Sasank says, I would be the authority on curries, but I'm South Indian. South Indians don't make curries? I don't know. I'm asking this question. I don't know. Soto is pumped. I believe he's rapping. I can't hear the volume. I don't think it doesn't look like it's classical music. So I'm going to believe that he's rapping. Drew Doc says, as a Brit, I also love a curry, lads. Yes, sir. Hassan Ahmed is impressed. 1 foot out the door says, nice. Chuck Les says, I love a Thai coconut cream curry. Very nice. Handsome Devil says, 10 out of 10 story. Dude, you got no idea. Watch yesterday's podcast. I told the whole story about that guy. Drew Doc says, fair enough. Thanks for answering, brother. I'll do my best. Joseph says, Coach, you can't give us just the veggies. Need that meat and potatoes of that story so we can all be moist. I will tell the whole story in a sec, probably after this fight, in between the two fights. Soto has loco on his belt. I'll tell the whole story. Elia says, do you make a good mate, sir? I don't. My parents do. They make good mate. They drink mate. They still drink mate to this day. My dad's 82. My mum's 72. They enjoy a good mate. I don't drink mate. I don't drink anything caffeinated, man, because I'm fucking mad. I'll get mad. Hassan Ahmed says South Indians do, ? And that's what I was asking as well. From 1 foot at the door says going to keep the nonsense to a minimum. I agree, sir. Hassan Ahmed says I'm very interested in Adrian Yans versus Randy Costa tomorrow night. It's going to be a cracker, man. It's going to be a cracker. I think it's a come out party for both those guys. Daniel Alves says, wait, no classical music on this BKFC card? I am out. Handsome Devil says we are getting ready for the story. It'll come after this fight. I'll tell you the whole story. Sasank says, South Indian cuisine is different, mate. Overall, I'd say it's a lot healthier, but probably not as flavorful like your common curries. I see. What kind of food is the South Indian cuisine? Just a second, guys. Having said what I just said about the mate, I'm going to have a little bit of green tea because I got up early this morning running around with my daughter. She's an absolute nut job. Now I'm a bit tired. Drew Doc says, buy some Buckfast tonic wine from my native Scotland. Change your life. All right. Tell me, I don't really drink wine, and my wife's pregnant, so she can't drink. But I think at some point she likes a glass of wine. Joseph says, Coach, followed your advice on stretching after a workout and changed my life. I don't feel as sore or as stiff anymore in the morning. Thanks, Coach. Man, stretching's the best, honestly. You should have that set in your sessions, like 3-4 stretching sessions a week, not just I'm going to stretch a little bit here and there. You should have that as important as anything else. Hassan Ahmed says, but thanks for that, Joseph. I appreciate it. Hassan Ahmed says, yeah, South Indian cuisine is more veggie curry, right? I don't know. B. Johnson says, they're tiring that age, aren't they, Fab? Oh, man, like, she's the best. Don't get me wrong. She's the best. Like, when I work out in the mornings, she comes and she does all the workouts with me. She knows the order of the stuff that I do. She tries to do the push-ups. If my wife and I do yoga, she does yoga as well. So she's a character. She's a full character. Okay. Soto and Sikes, they've gone to scratch. They shook hands and they're about to kick off. And we're off, people. Both men in the orthodox stance. I like that Soto's already jabbing to the head and to the body. Not enough people jab properly in MMA. And the guys that can jab to the head and jab to the body makes a big difference. Soto covering up really well. Looks very composed. A lot of movement, a lot of head movement. Ooh, wings on a right hand and just misses Sikes. Then he jabs again to the body. Does Soto. Sikes go looking for a right hand to counter that jab to the body. Nice little jab by Sikes. Splits the defense of Soto. Soto very composed. I didn't press a timer, but 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in this round. Round one of a possible 5. Soto with a nice little crisp uppercut. That's another thing that you'll see in bare knuckle boxing that you don't see as much in boxing. Like you still see it in boxing and MMA, but it's a jab to jab this way with your knuckles upside down like that, because that way you ensure that you're going to hit with the knuckles when you jab that way, and it's very important when you do that in bare knuckle boxing. You know, like this, you might not hit with the exact knuckles that you want to hit with, and you might not hit properly. Nice. This swinging for the fences was Sikes just a second ago. Soto's got a good use. Oh, Soto hits him with a nice right hand, and Sikes takes it. He managed to roll with it a little bit, but Soto's getting closer and closer to landing that right hand. But it looks like he got caught on that exchange, did Soto, by Sikes, and he clinched, did Soto. Nice jab again by Sikes. Soto's looking to dip and come over with that left hook, and there was that left hook that I was just talking about. And that's the round, ladies and gentlemen. True Doc says, it's not wine. Trust me. What is it? I don't know what it is. Drew Doc, you from Scotland, mate? I'm from England, says Hassan Ahmed. Yerel Torres says, show it. Drew Doc says, yes, Hassan. Sasank says, mostly a lot of seafood dishes, a lot of coconut-based dishes, a lot of good veggies. If you like Thai food, you probably like a lot of South Indian dishes. I've been to Pune. And I've been to Mumbai in India. Mumbai is fucking wild, dude. And Pune, that's south, isn't it? Am I correct? I coached the youth Commonwealth Games team there. They held the Commonwealth Games team for under 18s in Pune, and I was a coach for that, for wrestling. And that was I love the food. Hey, I fucking love the food. I put on, like, in about 3 weeks, I put on about 8 kilos. It was ridiculous. We're off, and Soto goes looking for a left hook to no avail. These guys are both pretty good, man. They both actually can box. I like Soto. Sikes actually looks like he's a little bit more comfortable. His left hand's a little lower, so his jab's coming from a different chamber, and he's starting to find the range for his jab. He's very relaxed. His left hand's low, but it's low. It's not a bad thing. Ooh, nice left rip to the body by Soto. So oftentimes people say the guy's holding his hands low, but his hand's not low in a true sense of the word, because he can shoulder roll from that position, and he can also move forward and back, and it gives him a little bit more length on the jab, having his left hand lead a little bit lower. Of course, if he can't move his feet, he's susceptible to getting hit with an overhand right or whatnot. But if he's good at moving his feet, it's a really, really good stance and gives you extra length on the jab. Soto with a kind of peekaboo style, and he is looking for rips to the body, left hooks to the. Oh, he catches Sikes with a nice left hook. Sikes got a beard on him, literally and figuratively. Nice work. Oh, Soto dipped his head, and Sikes went looking for an uppercut and just missed it. Nice exchange by both guys. Another jab to the body by Soto. 6 seconds to go. Both guys swing for the fences. Nice little shoulder roll by Soto there at the end of that round. Both these guys doing quite well, man. Hassan Ahmed says stretching is super important. I've been doing a little bit. I've been doing a lot more recently. It is, sir. One foot at the door says glitching, and Pip Dennison says veggie curry from plenty of places in Little Indian Singapore was good. In Little India, Singapore. How good is the food in Singapore? Crew veggie meal out of Singapore Changi Airport catering was pretty good too. Joseph Moreno says who's fighting Soto and Sikes, sir? Hassan Ahmed says, I'm Bengali, so a lot of our curries are veggie and fish based. Pakistanis have more chicken and meat based curries. Afghani food is a little more dry, if that makes sense. It does, mate. It absolutely does. I would like I'd like all that stuff, man. Drew Doc says, I'm a sucker for a good madras. Ahmed says, Drew Doc, you guys suffering from the heat wave too? Um, Handsome Devil, like that old school boxer pose. I suppose so. I'm not exactly sure because sometimes I'm not at the same pace where you're at. So I'm sorry if I miss the context of things sometimes. We're off again. I can't tell you who's winning. Plus, I'm commentating the fight. Both guys are pretty tidy. Soto has probably landed the shots a little bit harder, I think, the shots that he has landed. But Sikes has looked very tidy with his jabs. Sikes trying to get Soto to engage in some hand fighting there to make him open up the guard. He was doing that himself. And that's a very interesting thing that happens because when you do that, when you extend your hands out like that, it leaves you open to start to get hit to the body. Very similar to Cormier versus Miocic. So that's what was happening there with Soto and Sikes. Good exchanges too, man. Nice feints by Sikes, and he's got Soto biting on the feints now. He's starting to get his good range now, is Sikes. He's getting Soto to bite on the feints, and then he jabs right on the back of that. And he's gotten Soto to back up. So what happens a lot of the times is people, when they feint, if you're not like you cover up or you flinch or whatever it is that you do, then you don't see the next shot coming. And sometimes people appear to be a lot faster than what they actually are. Oh, threw a right hand, did Sikes. Soto ducked and threw a right hand of his own. He actually connected with Sikes. Soto's face a bloody mess. His left eye is a big mess. He's got a cut, I believe, a cut in a mouse underneath the left eye. Very tough man. Very, very, very tough man. And that's the round, man. Soto looking like he's taken a lot of damage to that eye. One foot at the door says, really to mess up your hands if you hit fist half open, half closed. You can hit with your, like, you can throw you can throw a jab if you're not throwing it at full pace, especially if you've got gloves, and you can have your hand open. If you're just trying to land the points, it's okay. But if you throw a right hand and it's like with power and your hands are like open, you're going to break your hand, you break your wrist. A lot of times you can throw it, and just before you close, you squeeze, and so then you're not wasting any more energy. You can throw faster because your upper body's relaxed, and just before it hits, you squeeze, and so then you hit with full power, full speed. You don't have to hit people that hard. That's the other thing people don't get. Like, you don't have to hit that hard. We're off. Especially big left hand by Soto lands on Sikes. See, Soto has landed some good shots literally on the beard of Sikes, and Sikes has taken him. Hassan says, the chat is making me hungry, and it's 1:29 a.m. here. Drew Doc says, Hassan, tell me about a pale, pasty Scottish Irishman. I'm melting. How hot is it for you guys? Because it's cold for me, and it's like 13, 14 degrees. So Sank says, what? Mumbai is freaking wild, mate. It is, man. It is. It is fucking wild. Like, crazy wild. I couldn't get it. I could not understand how wild it was. Like, there was like cows and animals and all sorts of stuff on the main street at like 2 a.m. 59 seconds to go in this fourth round. I'm sorry. Soto initiating a clinch. Nice left hook by Soto. Jab to the body by Soto. Jab to the head by Soto. Jab left rip to the body by Soto. But Sikes sits really well behind that jab, but just a little bit in his body language, the way he's holding his right elbow a little bit tighter. I think that some of those body shots have hurt him from Soto. He's holding that right hand a little lower. Is Sikes? I don't know how many more shots. I think he has felt it a little bit. Nice 1-2 by Soto. I think Soto can go to the body a couple more times. I think he has. That's the round then. He's kept a good poker face, has Sikes, but I think that I do think that a couple of those body rips now have started to take their toll. Sasank says Pune is still north. They have routine sandstorms from time to time from the desert in the state next door. Ah, I see. Okay, but awesome. Thank you for that. Sorry, I'm just skipping a few. Pip Dennison says Mumbai's unreal, head trip, love it. Hassan says, Fab, do you think BKFC will ever be a mainstream sport, considering how brutal it is? In my opinion, it's way more brutal than MMA. You know what it is? Honestly, it just depends how it's marketed. Because now MMA is not seen as that brutal to us. But dude, when you think about someone like the round's about to start. Like I'm watching it like this, it doesn't seem like I can understand how people will see it as brutal, but I mean, if you can think of how like we can become accustomed to anything, MMA now is so accepted that we can watch women get held down by another woman and elbowed in the face. So as far as it being brutal, like that's pretty fucking brutal. So if it just I think depends on how it's marketed, who it's marketed towards. I think right now it's kind of marketed more towards hardcore, extreme kind of thing. The way that it looks right now, big rips, man, by Soto, but I think he hit him low. Then one of his shots went low. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how mainstream it is. I don't know how. Yeah, 1 foot at the door says another 6 fights after this one. Hassan Ahmed says, guys, any hateful comments will be banned as soon as just had to put someone in timeout. Thank you, Hassan Ahmed. Hassan Ahmed is one of the moderators. The other one is Oliver Ekman, and he's not here. But thank you very much, Hassan. I really appreciate it. Gary the Goat says, Fab, great to catch a beautiful bold noggin live. Any favorite hamstring stretches you can recommend? Sending love to you and your fam from San Diego. Thank you for what you do. Yeah, I would recommend one thing I'd recommend. Hold on, they're just swinging for the fences. I'll come back to you in a sec. This is the fifth round with 1 minute to go. They're swinging for the fences. Sikes looking for body shots as they're both clinching now. Big shots, both these guys you will not want to get in a street fight with. Nice work. Oh, overhand right left hook by Soto. 33 seconds to go. 26 seconds to go. Nice jab landed by Soto. Jab to the body by Soto. Right uppercut taken on the elbow by Soto. Both guys punching some dirty boxing in the clinch. Soto with the head positioning. Nice. Soto coming forward. Swinging on some punches. And I believe that is the fight. That is the fight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who won. Um, it's interesting with the hamstring exercises, with the hamstring stretches, because a lot of the times a hamstring, like honestly, like there's variations of bear walks and that you can do, which dynamically will help you with a lot of the stretching. I really recommend them. Obviously, there's static holds where you touch your toes and whatnot. I recommend though that when you're looking for your hamstring stretches, you need to also ascertain why your hamstrings are tight. Like, are you sitting down all day? It's very, very common. So if you're sitting down, it's not just your hamstrings. You're probably going to find your core might not be strong, and your back's tight as well. As well, the way that we sit like that also affects the way we breathe. Um, and that's also like I think it affects where your rib cage sits and how you breathe. Like a lot of us don't breathe into our stomach anymore, and we breathe like shallow breathing into our chest. So I recommend you do yoga in general, not just for example, not just some hamstring stretches. I recommend that you do 3 or 4 days. Doesn't have to be long. Like you can download the Nike app and do, 20 minutes 3 times a week of an actual yoga workout, so to speak, because it'll help you with your whole posterior chain, releasing your whole posterior chain, and it'll help you with your breathing and learning to breathe more into your stomach, which affects your posture, which affects your lower back. And when your lower back is tight, it affects the rest of your posterior chain being your glutes, your erector spinae muscles, your hamstrings, and some people include the calves. I do include the calves. So I that's what I would recommend for hamstrings. Um, and thank you, man. Thank you for supporting. Hassan Ahmed says, "I'm just glad my house doesn't get too hot at night. I want to know how hot it is for you guys." Um, Hassan, yeah, no AC in the UK really fucks us up when the heat is on. I want to know this heat. Please tell me the heat. Hassan Ahmed says, guys who do BKFC are nuts. I think that they are nuts right now because you're probably seeing a few of the outliers, but I don't think it's any more dangerous than any of the other combat sports. Gary the Goat says Wonderboy's dad said he would throw an open palm strike if he was ever in a street fight. Yeah, I don't think he'd need to do that. He'd probably fucking axe kick you. Drew Doc says like 25, but he's right. A lot of people will open hand strike in the street. Soto won that fight. I have to tell you, I don't disagree. His face looks more mangled because he took a few more like cutting blows, but he's definitely landing the heavier shots, in my opinion. Drew Doc says like 25 degrees, but we ain't built for this, Coach Fab. Dude, 25 degrees is like a hot winter's day for us. Yeah, we get to like 47, 48. Did Blueface fight yet? I don't know who Blueface is. Um, okay, sorry, one foot out the door says teeth are expensive. Yes, they are, sir. Yes, they are. Now going back to that story that the meat and potatoes of the story that I was saying, I used to work in an institute, a sporting institute, about 10 years ago, and this is like a story out of left field. It's got nothing to do with anything. But I used to work with 48 Celsius, man. Um, I used to work at the sporting institute. Anyways, there was a guy there who was a bit of a fucking gronk. He was a physio, and I've always had the bad knees, and I was playing with a few of the other athletes, like they were like football players and weightlifters, and then we were playing basketball, which I'm better at them than them at. Anyways, we were playing basketball, and then my knee just fucked up, and I went and I iced it, and I had it elevated, and I was just sitting in one of the rooms, and then this guy comes in there, and he's like, "Hey Fab, what's going on?" He was another coach there, and he goes, "Hey Fab, what's going on?" He was a physio there. And I said, fuck my knee, man, da 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 da. And I didn't really want to talk to him because he's one of those guys that's super punished, dude. He's like, the first time I met him, he does like kung fu or something. Nothing against the kung fu exponents, but I'm saying he does kung fu. And he's one of those guys that's always telling fucking fibs, man. Always. Sorry, I told this story yesterday, but due to popular demand, I have to retell it. And the guy goes to me, "Oh, you're a wrestler." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I've seen that in the Olympics." He goes, but it's different when there's rules. I train with no rules. He's probably my size. But he's soft as baby shit. and he goes, he's telling this story about how these Samoans were bombing his fence, like spray painting his fence, and he chased them across this football field at 3 o'clock in the morning. There was 3 or 4 Samoans, and he beat them up. And anyone that fucking grown up around Samoan dudes, if you're an average size guy, you're not beating up 3 Samoans. And even if you're average size guy and you got one average size Samoan, that average size Samoan, if he's 15 years old, is bigger than a grown man. And you'd have to be able to fight. Like you wouldn't be able to beat up a Samoan just for fucking shits and giggles. You just couldn't do it. Wouldn't happen. That's it. They're built different, you know. I'm not saying Samoans can't lose fights. They can. But you're not jumping the fence and chasing a whole gang of them by yourself and beating them up. That's not happening. Anyways, this is that guy. I'll give you a bit of background. And he goes to me, listen, I can fix your knee and blah, blah, blah. And I said, man, it's all right, man. Don't worry about it. He goes, no, I live around the corner. I've got some stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, man, I'm good, you know. We work together, by the way. I said, I'm good to get, Fab, I'll do it. I'll help you. I said, all right, man, no worries. So he runs off around the corner, literally lived out around the corner, comes back with some stuff, some bullshit, does a bit of stuff to me. My knee was exactly the same as before he did it. He didn't fix it. But then he charged me right there as I'm sitting there at work. He goes, that's $30. And I paid him because he caught me off guard. Everyone that I knew was like, you're a fucking dickhead, as if you pay him. Just to give you a little bit of background on this guy. You know, I said 48 degrees. Christmas time, anyone that lives in Australia, Christmas time, that's how hot it is here, right? And everyone's gone fucking mad because, say, around that time, like everyone's doing the last minute shopping, it's full on, you know, and it's hot. And so he said to me, oh, you know, one time I was parking my car, I was in the parking lot, and the parking lots are full. They're just full to the brim. It's crazy. People are parking their cars. It's hot. The mums are going nuts. The mum's got 3 kids in the car. Anyways, this mum was parking her Tarago, which is a van, parking it backwards into this open spot. And she must, to put in context, she would have driven around for half an hour trying to find that parking spot. And she had a car full of kids. And he goes, and mate, I saw it. He goes, and I had my car and I saw her backing up and I thought, beauty. And I just drove straight in. Yes, I just drove straight in, you know, and she was going off. The kids were crying. She got upset. And I just looked at her and said, oh, well, tough luck. He goes, and I just walked off into the shops. That's to give you context. That's who that guy is. The moist story comes from this. He said to me, am I married? At the time I was. And he goes, yeah, I'm married. I go, how'd you meet your wife? And he goes, well, he goes, I went to, by happenstance, I went to this pub near the house and she was there with my best friend. And he goes, and my best friend's a little bit like timid, a little bit of a dweeb. And he goes, and I saw her there talking with him and I thought, wow, she's a lot better looking than my mate. And I thought, I'm not going to have that. So I went up to her and I said to her, why are you with this dickhead? And, you know, and then I just kept running my mate down until he got really upset and left. And he goes, and then I ended up with her. And we went to dinner one time as work. And I was looking at her thinking, how the fuck are you with him? And why would you be with him if he's such a fucking gronk? And he goes, that's when she told me that Thor story. You know, we were just sitting there and she goes, do you ever watch Thor? And I said to her, no, but she goes, I love watching Thor. Yeah, she makes me moist. That is the story. And we're off, people. Carsten versus Janoski, both men in the orthodox stance. Carsten with very interesting style. Like I haven't seen this style before. His hands are very high and he's got a lot of head movement and he's really swinging for the fences. He looks like he hasn't got a lot of experience. Janoski looks very, very much more composed. Carsten looks like a tough guy that you wouldn't want to fight on the street. But Janoski looks like he's can box a little bit. I do predict that this is going to be a stoppage. That's done. Janoski just landed 2 big shots on Carsten, hurt him pretty bad. Carsten will probably make scratch. The referee's counting him 8, 9. They're going to let him fight again. It's a very big mismatch, guys. Very, very big mismatch. Dropped again. That's the fight. Call the fight, ref. Call the fight. You got dropped again. Call the fight, please. Stop it. Stop the fight. stop the fight. Dude's fucking hurt. Don't just stop the fight. They're gonna let the fight again go. Nah, man. He dropped his mouth guard, put his mouth guard back in. Stop the fight, man. There's a mismatch. Swings with a right hand, does Carsten. It's a big mismatch. 32 seconds to go. Janoski, come on, man. That's it, ref. Call the fight. Uppercut, left hook, drops Carsten again. Dude, he's been dropped. It's a 2-minute round. He's been dropped 3 times. How long are you going to keep this going for? Stop it, ref. Stop the fight. He's been dropped dropped with a jab 4 times. You didn't need to be dropped that many fucking times, dude. It was such a massive mismatch. Anyways. Okay. So Sank says 48 degrees Celsius. Yeah. That's what makes that, the parking lot story where he parks a car. That's what makes it worse. Imagine that you're driving around in a Tarago with probably 4 kids in the car screaming, crying, fighting each other. It's 48 degrees, feeling like shit. Your husband's probably at work. It's Christmas Eve. You got to buy some other presents and shit, and you got to run around with all these kids. Yeah. And he does that. Marshall Smartest, the man. How are you, sir? How's your training going, man? I may have thrown a palm strike in an altercation. Very effective way of removing someone from the field of play. What were you playing, sir? Chuck Les says, I've started using magnesium cream for cramps. It seems to help. Yeah, man, but major thing for that is just making sure you get your hydrolytes and your water in. That's a main thing. Joseph says, yes, Uncle Fab's story of the day. Get your popcorn ready. His son Ahmed says, Gronk is such a funny word. It is, isn't it, sir? Sasank says, can you even be outdoors? You can, yeah, you can, but you don't want to. It's like stupid hot. Hassan Ahmed says 48 degrees is death sentence. I couldn't handle that. Yeah, at the time when we had gyms and that, we ended up closing the gyms for the day. Like it got to a point where it was just too hot. 48 is too hot. You've been watching Lions Tour, Fab? No, I don't know what that is. Drew Doc says 48 degrees would literally disintegrate me. I have an uncle. I love him to death. But my mum's family are white. They're all white, and they're like big white European people. They look like Scottish people, right? My uncle's like blonde hair, blue eyed. And it was funny because when he first came to Australia, he's blonde hair, blue eyed, big dude, and built completely different to me, like thick, solid dude. And people would speak to him in English, and he'd have no fucking response to it whatsoever. But anyways, he's super white. And in summer, he lives in a state of perpetual red. He's red. He's red if he's outdoors because he's sunburnt. He's red if he's indoors because it's hot. And he's just fucking red all day. All day. Handsome Devil says it was 31 degrees with 80% humidity in Istanbul yesterday. It sucked. 47 is deadly though. The humidity is a motherfucker. Istanbul's a beautiful city. I've been to Istanbul. I've been to is it Izmir? I've been to Antalya, Cappadocia. Sorry about the names I'm messing up. Where else have I been? Pamukkale. Yeah, I've been to a bunch of places. I love Turkey. Yeah, I love Turkey. One of my favorite places to go. Olympus. One of my favorite places, man. It's so beautiful. The food, the best. Marshall Smarter says, I met a Kung Fu guy once too. Was talking about the first day of Kung Fu. Everyone was waiting around and the instructor just did a flip over a Bob doll and tore its head off day one. Yeah, there was a guy that there's a Kung Fu school where shit like that happens, and he goes like the the dude can hear you the dude can hear you when you're not there. He can talk, he can meditate and speak to his grandmaster who's been dead for 10 years and from a different city too. So yeah, it's interesting. Watch Yellow Bamboo. If you ever get a chance, watch Yellow Bamboo on YouTube. Watch that. That will change your life. Next is Arnold Adams versus Michael Terrill, with Michael Terrill being a -180 favorite, plus 150 for Arnold Adams. Let's be honest. Juice says, let's be honest. We know that story is a lie because Samoans don't run anywhere. Man, some Samoans can fucking run though. They can really run. Watch the NRL. But I will tell you this. Let's call this guy that I'm talking about, that physio. Let's call him Tom. Tom is not making anyone run. Tom is not making any. Oh, Dakota, Olave versus Evil Hero is up next, I believe. I'm going to say that nobody named this guy Evil Hero, and that he probably changed it later in his life. I'm gonna throw that out there. But no, he wouldn't have made any Samoans run. He charged me, Hassan. He fucking charged me. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a person that finds it real hard to market myself and to charge people. I'm really, which it's hard. Like that's my effort at marketing myself there. www.askcoachfab.com. I do everything by word of mouth. I'm not good at charging people. I usually over deliver and undercharge. So I find that hard. But this guy is the exact opposite. He under delivers and overcharges over and over and over and over and over and over again. That one took the fucking cake. I couldn't believe that he fucking charged me. Hassan Ahmed says, what a weird guy. Man, you got no idea. Roy C says, the combination of hot and humid is a killer. When sweating doesn't do anything. If it's dry and there's a breeze, it can be scorching but bearable. 100% true. Marshall Smarter says, I asked if he trained anything else. He was like, no, something about using a knife hand to poke stab through your abdominal, grab an organ from stabbing at a bucket of ball bearings. I love it. Oh, there's a guy singing. His outfit is very different. Very, very different. He has purple hair. He's got a lot of chains, ripped jeans. I don't know if he's part of the entourage. I'm not exactly sure. He's part of the entourage. That's right. He's part of the entourage. He's part of Evil Hero's entourage. I don't know if he's like a well-known rapper or singer or pop person or something like that. I'm not sure. Evil Hero is walking out now. I don't know. Is Evil Hero like a pop person or something like that? Ursel says, do you think Bare Knuckle will stay forever? I don't know, my friend. I don't know. It's been around forever. But Evil Hero has gloves on. Which is kind of bringing a knife to a gunfight. Drew Doc says, oh my God, Savage Fab. I don't think I can ever watch Thor again. Hassan Ahmed. Yeah, she was like fucking creepy. But she wasn't like super good looking, but she was way too good looking for him. He looks like a kicked in shit tin. Like he's not a good looking fellow, Yeah. Joseph says, Coach, what's your association with Hefe? First, the couple from San Francisco, now this dude. Oh, what's with your associates, Hefe? First, the couple from San Francisco, now this dude. It's it's funny, Joseph, that you should bring up the couple from San Francisco. This is no word of a lie. The wife actually messaged me the other day. Somehow or other they'd watched the show, or somebody had watched the show, and she brought it up to me that it was she just made a big thing about it, and I said to her, I'm just joking. It wasn't a big thing. I'm just joking. I expanded on it. I'm not upset with you guys for charging me, and they're upset, and the husband doesn't want to talk to me ever again. So that was them. The other guy, man, I couldn't help the other guy. This guy that I just said, the physio. I worked with him. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was mates with him or anything like that. 1 foot out the door. Sorry. The Buds, has Nick fought yet? No, Nick has not fought. Dakota, Olave, and that other fellow's about to fight, the Dr. Evil. Marshall Smartest, are you not entertained? Thank you, sir. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. New champion, Marshall Smartest. Let us know when you're going to compete, man. I'm not going to say exactly what you're going to compete in because you may not want people to know, but let me know when you're going to compete. It'll be great to maybe do a watch along for your competition if you're up for it, and get everyone from the chat supporting you, man. That would be cool. Um, One foot at the door says Rocky Fall moment. Throw the damn towel. Yes, sir. Joseph says at Jose are the rapper. He's a fighter now. I have no idea, but they're wearing gloves. These guys, the 135ers, are wearing gloves, which, like, honestly, I got nothing against them wearing gloves. It doesn't look like these guys are actual fighters. It looks like they are some sort of celebrity, which I don't know anything about, and they're having a fight against each other. Um, Dakota versus Doctor Evil, Evil Hero. I don't. Does anyone know what they are? Does anyone know if these guys are celebrities of some description? But like, I got nothing against him wearing gloves, but I don't understand why you wear gloves at a bare knuckle boxing event. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could do it at a boxing event. You know, it doesn't make sense. I don't get it. I truly do not understand with this. And one of them has the IMF on his gloves as a sponsor. I don't know if that means the International Monetary Fund. Um, if so, he's got big backers. So they did not touch gloves. Olave didn't want to touch gloves. Dude, this is a bad. This is bad. So Evil Hero lands a right hand on Dakota. Olave. I don't know who these guys are, but I can tell you right now, Dakota Olave can't fight. He cannot fight. Um, I don't know if Doctor Evil can fight either. I think he's just a little more aggressive and throws a right hand a little bit harder. But that's also going to change at the end of this round when they both start to gas a little bit and Dakota gets a little bit more confidence and starts to throw more shots. But yeah, like, credit for them for getting in and everything. But I'm just saying, like, the level of this fight is fucking low. Like, it's really, really, really low. You know, and they got gloves on. Like, it's, yeah. The evil hero looks like he's more composed. He's got a little bit more experience, but he's no great fighter either. Like, he's, I don't know who these guys are. That's why I'm saying to you, if you guys can tell me who they are, as in, like, are they celebrities? Are they rappers? Are they singers? Or some description. There's 26 seconds to go. There's 3 round. This is a possible 3 round fight. Like, this is like this fight. These guys are like beginners. Beginners. Evil Hero has a little bit more of experience, but not a great deal more. No. Wow. Fucking wow. Um, Randy says, "Hi, coach. I love your stories. How's the lockdown treating you?" Like I said yesterday, lockdown's pretty good. It's all right as far as, like, my day to day, because I love spending my time with my wife and my daughter and my dog, so that's okay. And I do the podcasts, and I study and I do a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm not bored or anything like that. But financially, it's a little hard because what I do for a living is all based around coaching people. So that all of that's out. And then as far as, like, corporate training that I do and everything, that's also out. Like, that got cut in their budgets. Right now they got other things to think about. So, financially, it hits pretty hard. Um, Drew Doc says, first time I went to America, it was 40 degrees when we landed, and my little brother just broke into tears at the heat. Wow. Randy says it's been pretty rough for me. Okay, the lockdown, right, Randy? The lockdown's been pretty rough for you. I'm gonna hit you up on Ask Coach Fab for a chat. Would that be okay? Yes, my friend. Please do so. Go to www.askcoachfab.com. Follow the prompts, and we'll have a chat for sure, 100%. Marshall Smarter says I was getting pizza, and a group of guys butted in front of me. Some girls after the pub wasn't having it after a night of bouncing and palm strike in a pizza joint. Fucking wow. Wow. Well, they won't do it again. Did you draw? You're a big dude too. So that would have fucking hurt. Round 2 of a possible 3. 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. Wow. Like, while Evil Hero's a little bit more composed, I think um Dakota's starting to get. Oh, he got hit with a big right hand, did Dakota. I don't see this kind of fights. I don't like watching. I don't like watching two guys that can't fight or two girls that can't fight at all fight, and one guy getting hit in that. I don't like it. Like it just looks, yeah. Chuckles says that fight was shocking. Was it a 4 knockdowns in a minute? Yeah, that was horrendous. Lucas Rivers says, Fab, on Thursday, Kyle Dake is going to be wrestling in the Olympics. Would you do a fight companion for that? Because I know you're really knowledgeable in that field. I will try because I don't. It's hard to get the what do you call it? The time right and the to actually watch the thing. Yeah, I'd like to, but yes. Randy says all this talk about the heat is making me miss summer. Yes, sir. Hassan Ahmed says, "Hey Randy, you okay, mate?" Drew Doc says, "Randy, stay strong, my man. It always gets better." Um, Hassan Ahmed says, "Randy, we appreciate you, mate. If you ever need to talk, then DM me on Instagram, my friend." Man, honestly, you guys are fucking champions. You guys are fucking, honestly, fucking champions. I'm taken back by everyone. And Randy, yeah, man, let's fucking have a chat if it's about career or jobs or anything, whatever you need to. We'll have a chat about it because like right now, that's one of the things that we offer on the Ask Coach Fab is the and I'm not trying to fucking shamelessly use Randy to promote myself, but it is one of the things that I specialize in. I've worked in the TAFE vocational education sector for a long, long time, 13, 14 years. And one of the things that we do is career advice, especially for people that are moments like this, ways that we can look at, going in different directions. And I think what the guys are saying here, Randy, is that it does get better, and it's a lot of the times when we have these fucking bad thoughts, like these bad thoughts ruminating at night and that, it's when it happens, like when everything slows down and at night it just, you don't sleep properly and your mind continues to tick over. So there's a lot of processes we can put in place to deal with that. And then also in the morning, it kind of changes and it's not as bad, Um, so, just looking at stuff and looking at some of the things that we can put in place. So also like right now, there's even right now, maybe you can't be employed, you can't work or whatever, but there's opportunities for you to do some courses that you were thinking of doing before, and now you can't do them, and now you can do them. And now, at least in Australia, some of these courses have big government subsidies. Evil Heroes teeing off on Dakota. Yeah, have big government subsidies. So it might be an opportunity for you to invest in yourself in that way. Even though right now it does seem like you're up against it. So yeah, hit me up, man, and we'll have a chat and we'll go from there, man. So yeah, for sure. Um, Marshall Smartest says, "Hey Randy, do a session with Fab. He will understand." Thank you, Marshall Smartest. You're a champion. Juice says, "At Randy, take a walk every day, get some sun, stay strong, mate. It'll be all right." For sure, the movement. I think Juice, that thing that you said is very, very important because honestly, the movement, like the body movement that occurs, is very, very good for you, like in like the release of hormones and whatnot in your body that make you feel better, make you feel positive. So the movement is absolutely very, very important, Randy. Very, very, very important. Marshall Smartest says evil hero is an oxymoron. Not only is it an oxymoron, all right, but the way he fights is an oxymoron. Like he saying that these guys are fighting is kind of like an oxymoron. Like it just, yeah, I don't know. That's the third round. I did not enjoy that. I actually couldn't look at it the whole way. I'm gonna miss a couple, guys. I'm gonna skip a couple. Let me say, Joseph says, let me say on behalf of everybody in the chat, coach, no one has heard of that rapper. Hassan Ahmed says, yeah, I'm 19 years old, never heard of that rapper. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I don't know if he's a rapper or what he is, but yeah, he's obviously some sort of celebrity. True Doc says, at Randy, trust me, man, we've all been through the shit the past year or two. The only way is up for you. Hope is a powerful thing. Yeah, man, honestly, and I think even if in those isolation periods like this, when you maybe, I don't know what your situation is, Randy, but if you can't like interact with people or whatever, stuff like this is really cool, like being able to interact with people and being able to, because everyone here is pretty cool, as you've seen, like, and you're a staple to the chat. And I think having those conversations is important, just even just interacting with people in any way that you can. We are social creatures, and when that's taken away from you, it's big. And right now, right now it's tough in Sydney. Like the change is fucking huge. The change is massive. Hassan Ahmed says, "Laugh out loud, Fab making enemies." What do you mean? Who am I making enemies with? Juice says, "Those Yankees, mate. That's a bridge worth burning." Which one? What are you talking about? Marshall Smarter says, "Laugh out loud." Oh man, this is too funny. Their butt hurt from across an ocean. Who? Who? What happened? What happened? I don't know what happened. I know, coach, you might get cancelled. Laugh out loud, to be fair. Not a big loss to you, Hefe. By the way, you should charge him for watching the show. Laugh out loud. Who? What happened? Let me see. I don't know what I missed. What did I miss? Who's angry? Tell me. I don't know what happened. Um, I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, I missed a few. I'm just trying to see what happened. Marshall Smarter says, haha, that would be cool. I just found out about an upcoming event end of August. It might be interesting, so I'll email you. Marshall Smarter says, Buzz's girlfriend Wolf. Drew Doc says, gloves defeats the point of bare knuckle boxing, but in my opinion, BK is obsolete. I don't get it. Eh? Sean Van Miltenberg says, no one cares, show us. Why are you here, dude? Why the fuck are you here? We like if you want to be here. If you don't want to be here, why are you here? Marshall Smartest says definitely means International Monetary Fund. Juice says, I want to see water wrestling, aka water polo, but without the ball. Side note, I used to play water polo. Fuck that sport. It's essentially sanctioned drowning. Water polo is a ridiculously hard sport, dude. Ridiculously hard sport. Yeah, there is underwater wrestling. Have you guys seen that? If you like Google that, you can YouTube it, you can watch it. It's hardcore. I used to do that kind of stuff with some of my guys for training, like because it was low impact on the body, but we'd throw like a ball in there, and you had to basically like you couldn't touch the bottom. You had to tread water, like because it was too deep, and you have a ball or whatever it is, and you might have a team of guys, or you might be one on one, or it might be everyone for themselves, and if you get held underwater, they can hold you underwater until you let go of the ball. When you let go of the ball, they have to let you go. They can't keep holding you because they'll kill you. So it's a real crazy workout, man. Like you're trying to tread water, the boys are jumping on your back. And we had all submissions were allowed too in the pool. So dudes would jump on your back, try and choke you, drown you, whatever. When you let go of the ball, they have to let go. I'm watching though, so I'm refereeing. So yeah, we had no deaths, so it was pretty good. Hard workout. Um, Joseph says those guys who wear gloves on BKFC are the same people who have Diet Coke with their Big Macs. N says, G'day, everyone. Christian Lawrence says, at martial artist, amazing thumbnail, mate. It is a cute thumbnail. Um, hey, Randy says, hey, at Hassan Ahmed, I'm okay, just struggling with the lockdown. Thanks for asking. How are you? Man, you're champion, Randy, man, and good on you. Because you know what the thing is, a lot of people won't say that they're struggling with it, but they are. We all are in one way or another. Some people aren't. Some people aren't, but a lot of us are. Um, Randy says, I'm going to listen to this later. My kids are yelling at me. N says, slowing down is the best if you can eat. One foot at the door says, diet come because I'm on a diet. N says, nothing slows down in the Northern Rivers, maybe except for hospitality. Oh, so you guys are still open. Nick Ireland is about to fight versus DK Money. So are these guys um like who are these guys? Are they personalities, celebrities, etc.? So I'm gonna miss a few. We Are Live says, yo, Fab just got here. I'm watching BKFC as well. Looking forward to seeing these two dime pieces bang. N says, laugh out loud. I'm no expert, but bare knuckle is usually pretty rough. Sometimes just a war of attrition of being willing to break hands. I think that, like I said to you before, I don't think we see guys at the top of their game that that specialize in bare knuckle boxing, or that are even really good boxers coming over and doing at the top of their game doing bare knuckle boxing, because there just isn't the depth in this sport at this point. Um, there has been a couple of guys that could box and that looked all right, but generally, no, you don't have that. Um, so there's three influences tonight: Blueface versus Kane Trujillo, and Nick Ireland versus DK Money, and this one. Well, isn't this the one that they just said? Nick Ireland versus DK Money. I don't know who the influencers are. What do they do? What's their type of influencing? I really don't know. Hassan Ahmed says the Commonwealth Games are going to be here in Birmingham next year. Cannot wait. Yes, they are, sir. N says PVZ doesn't get enough credit for her toughness, but I feel that she's been compensated well and truly. You know what I mean? So I think she gets enough credit. Marshall Smarter says pizza palm strike ended up with me having to have a talk with the popo. The guy literally just snapped back and left. Just left. Tried to sucker me after my slice. Blocked double. Told him chill. And did you get charged? Christian Lorenz says there are many levels of savage. He pinched my neck from bottom mount and I armbarred him and told him not to move. He didn't move after that. Then Popo chat of pushing face with open hand. I don't even think the way I understood that story was I don't even think you slapped him or hit him. I believe that as he attacked you first in self defense, you put your hand out and he kind of walked into the hand. That's how I understand it. Randy says, thanks at Hassan Ahmed. I love you guys. You guys are champions. Christian Lawrence says, tomorrow, Fab, the first of three Aussies compete in judo. Judoka Nathan Katz. Nathan Katz trained with us. Like when I was working with Volkanovski, he trained with us. So I know the Katz brothers really well. Nathan Katz will compete on Sunday, and the two ladies, Miss Haker and Mrs. Coughlin, will compete on Tuesday and Wednesday. I know the Katz brothers quite well. Not like best friends, but I know them. So DK Money, hometown Oceanside, California. Is he an influencer too, people? Um, I I don't know. I don't know if the evil hero, what the fuck that was. That was bad. That was a bad fight. Hassan Ahmed says, laughing my ass off at street beefs. I don't know what that is, but it was bad. One foot at the door says the worst thing is their songs are probably still better than Tyron Woodley's from one foot out the door. Nick Ireland, he's here. So Nick Ireland versus DK Money. I I saw this thing on YouTube, and you can Google it, where Randy Couture and Tyron Woodley did a song together. And that was bad, dude. That, like, I'm a big fan of both those guys as fighters, but that was a bad song, man. And this is coming from someone that has no musical gifts whatsoever, being me. Like, that song was fucking bad. We're off, people. DK Money in the Southpaw stance. Nick Ireland, both in the Southpaw stance. Neither one of these guys can fight. I can tell you now already looking at it. Ireland does. He looks a little bit more composed and he's throwing that left hand lead. DK Money does the patented 2-hand push defense and push your face, like, so it does like opposing push, like agonist antagonist kind of thing, where he pushes off with both hands and he pushes his head back and lifts his chin up like this. A very, very effective defense against a 3-year-old girl, but a good way to get knocked the fuck out. They're both trading shots. I'm not making fun of them though, because I will give them this. They're in there, they're having a go, they're fighting each other, but they can't fight, you know. But they're in there and they're risking it all, and it's very, very daunting to compete in any sort of combat sport or any sort of sport where it's mano a mano. So for that, I'll give them credit. But they're wearing gloves also at a BKFC event, which again is an oxymoron, is kind of weird, and it's false advertising. DK Money did flail a lot with some shots, and now he hit Ireland. He's hitting Ireland. He's flurrying. He's opening up with a flurry of punches. Is DK Money. Both guys are exhausted. We're 17 seconds to go in this first of 3 rounds. They're both breathing super hard. The adrenaline dump is crazy, man. Wow. And boxing's fucking hard, man. Hassan Ahmed says, mate, I've had to self-isolate in my room because I've tested positive for corona on Monday. Self-isolation sucks. It can have a bad negative effect on you for sure. How are you with all of that? I was going to ask you that. Not to mention it was Eid for me and couldn't celebrate with my family. Eid Mubarak, Hassan Ahmed. How's that, man? How's that when you self-isolate? I'm like, that's hardcore, man. Joseph says, couple from San Francisco, coach. The thing you missed was the couple you thought you were angry with them on DMS. Juice says, oh, okay. Juice says, we were talking about the Yanks who took you to Burger King. Right. Okay, yes, yeah. It was In-N-Out, actually. It was an In-N-Out burger. Would you do a clip on Les Darcy one day, Fab? You know what? And you know, it's funny you say that. I was thinking about that. I was actually thinking about that. Corey McManus says, morning from Ireland, Fab. How are you, sir? How are you, my friend? Where in Ireland are you from? I have family in Rathcoole. Maybe I said the name wrong. N says, water polo is death. It's super hard, dude. Super hard. Drew Dog says, sorry to hear that, Hassan, man. Got many Muslim buddies. I know how much Eid means. Hassan Ahmed says, underwater wrestling, it just sounds like competitive drowning. Look at these guys. Go. Go, DK Money. Land those shots. You two, Ireland. Come on, throw the left hand, Ireland. Throw the left hand. There it is. Good shot. Good show, gentlemen. 1 minute and 15 seconds to go in this battle of the influences. DK Money with a pouring jab. Moving forward in the clinch is Ireland. The boys have to be separated by a referee. Both boys are absolutely exhausted after 3 solid minutes of fighting. And I'm telling you right now, it is hard. If you're not a fighter and you haven't done 3 minutes of fighting, it's hard. DK Money ate a huge shot, showing off an impressive chin. Both guys showing off great heart as they're both taking big shots from each other. They're both exhausted, both guys. Big left hand by Ireland. DK Money pouring with a jab. Now Ireland seems to have taken a second win, and he's coming forward. Is Nick Ireland with 30 seconds to go. He has to capitalize on the shot. So he's landed a few of these shots on Ireland, but then he steps back to get a breather, and that allows DK Money to get back into the fight. Big left hand by Nick Ireland lands a little clubbing right hand over the top. Swings for the fences, doesn't Ireland? But DK Money's just out of reach. And that's the round, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, man, go the good vibe crew, says Pip Dennison. Yeah, man, watch underwater wrestling. It's pretty crazy. Hassan Ahmed says, yeah, man, it sucked, but it is what it is. Still got to eat the good food. Laugh out loud. How does that work? Does your family just have to give you the food like outside of your door, or how's that work? N says, if you aren't one of those kids that your parents didn't whip you to make them swim from age 2, you're not going to enjoy water polo. Yeah, no, it's water polo is hardcore. Drew Doc says, my best pal plays water polo for the national Scotland squad. Is he fucking yoked? Is he a big buff dude? Because that's another thing that I remember with a lot of the water polo guys. They were fucking tanks, you know what I mean? Burim Saliji says, hi, just wondering what time should the main event be? It's probably about 3 or 4 more fights. So Muhib, Hassan, and Burim all say Eid Mubarak. N says, they closed the border, but not much ever changes. We are pretty lucky. Okay. Hassan Ahmed says, love the positive vibes with the chat, guys. Yes, sir. I really appreciate it. Shaka Garami says, TikTok influencers. I see. TikTok. I got old, people. I got old overnight. I'm just managing to hold on to YouTube here. Just managing. Oh! But DK Money drops in for a double leg. He dropped his level and caught him around the waist. 1 minute and 26 to go in this third and final round. DK Money with a double fist shot. Ireland with a right hand lead uppercut. Creative, different punches from all sorts of angles from both boys, and mouthguard gets spat out by DK Money. Sent to a neutral corner in a round ring is Ireland. Both these guys are gassing hard, but good for them, man. Great show of heart from both men. 1 minute to go. Both going at it pretty hard. Double fist pump by Nick Ireland. It takes a lot of courage, man, to get in there, though. I will give him that. Like, it does absolutely take a lot of courage to get in there and have a go. You know, it's not easy. I'm assuming these guys would be getting paid though. $34 seconds to go. Nick Ireland, I think he's going to win this round. He's going to steal the round. He's just more active. DK with a 2-on-1. Has DK wrestled before? DK Money? He dips under, but there's not. He's making Ireland miss, but he's not doing a lot in the way of exchanging firepower now. Deep in this round. I think Nick Ireland's better cardio is proving to be the winning formula for him late in this third round. Is that it? That's the fight, people. That is the third and final round, I believe. Wow. They're absolutely exhausted. You know, I'm just watching, man. I've just gotten old, man. Like, I don't understand like what some things are that I'm watching anymore, you know? I just don't. Christian Lorenz says, would love to see you and Baby Chino carry the Wallaby attire and commentate a few Aussie matches in the Olympics, Fab. I might do that, man. I want to. I might do that. Burim says, imagine Ngannou bare knuckle. You know, the problem is it depends who he fights. You know what I mean? Because he can't load up and punch full pelt into somebody's elbow the way that he does in MMA. You know, and if he fights, say for example, if Ngannou fights someone, you know, with no experience, he's going to kill him. But Ngannou versus like a Derek Lewis, bare knuckles, that would be interesting. The fake names are ridiculous. One foot out the door. Hassan says, agreed, these nicknames are stupid. Pip Dennison says, Randy, stay strong, brother. Shit times have to get better. Drew Doc says, guy's name is Island. I have a betting favorite. Nice. T. Paul says, Blueface is a rapper with a few hit songs, actually. Okay, so Blueface is coming out. He's next. So he's a rapper, right? We Are Live says, swinging and banging. Cheddar Head says, are the YouTubers fighting yet? Is that Muhib says yes, YouTube versus TikTok, right? We Are Live says, have I watched the Aaron Hernandez doco on Netflix? I have. It's crazy. Cheddar Head says, who's winning, YouTube or TikTok, and who are we rooting for? I believe that Nick Island won. Saul says, Coach Fab, do you think bare knuckle MMA would favor grapplers more than strikers? Strikers may break their hands, and grapplers can lock their hands easier. It's going to favor. It depends, man. It depends. I think gloves are better for the strikers. Like the 4-ounce gloves are better for the strikers. But also you got to understand, with bare knuckles, strikers can also land their shots. There's no, like, it's easy. There's more space for them to land their shots as well. You know, I think a true representation would be bare knuckles, 25 minutes, 1 round, no stand-ups. You know, that would give a more accurate representation of a fight, but I don't think it'd be as marketable, right? I don't think it'd be as marketable like that, because people will get taken down. They will get held down. That will become a big part of it, how much you can hold someone down and cook them, you know? So, yeah. So I'm going to skip a couple of people. Sorry, guys. I'm going to skip a few just so I can keep up with everyone. Joseph says, Coach Fab, saying these influencers' name is a huge disrespect to him, to be honest. Laugh out loud. BKFC just got to get serious with their cards to be considered legit. Yeah, it's pretty out there today, man. Like, I just realized it's more like it's more like a show, so it is what it is. Okay. So I'm skipping a few, man. Son Ahmed says, Fab making these fighters sound professional with his commentary. Laugh out loud. Thank you, boys. Thank you very much. Hassan Ahmed says, Fab hyping up DK money. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Juice says, I remember thinking, geez, my parents don't know any celebrities. I'm in my mid-20s and it's already happening to me. Hassan Ahmed says, these names are killing me. Dude, I don't know who any of these guys are. Sorry, I skipped it because I kind of lagging behind you. So I'm skipping a few more here. Hassan Ahmed says, yeah, they pass the food from outside the door, Fab. Wow. Christian Lawrence says, fabulous. It there sounds like the mob boss in modern day Sydney who controls a dingo fence and drugs coming into New South Wales. Drew Doc says, Water Polo Scotland boy is a big lad for sure. He would have to be, man. He'd have to be. One foot out the door says, what do you mean you never heard of the rapper Lego Blocks? I have not. I don't know if it's true. I'm skipping a few. Sorry, guys, if I'm skipping you. Hassan Ahmed says, Fab, the world is changing. I feel sorry that you are just realizing this now, my prehistoric friend. It's crazy, man. Hassan, like just now, I heard that women could vote in that. It's insane. Did you hear Ngannou has to punch a guy in the nuts in Jackass 4? It's fucking retarded. Why are we doing this? What's happened to us as a society, as a civilization? Joseph says, since El Jefe is a YouTuber, I'm looking forward to seeing him in the ring against an influencer on the next event. Honestly, if I could pick some of the guys, I would fucking pick someone to fight. If I could pick like that. But I'd pick like a tiny little TikToker, like the guy that just lost to that Dakota guy, the Dakota that lost to Evil Hero. That's who I'd pick to fight. I think he's like a 135er, and I don't think he can fight, so I'd pick him. If I could get money and pick that guy, I'd fight him. But I'd want it to be bare knuckles though, because that way I can throw him around a little bit in the clinch more. Um, Christian Lorenz says, when you commentate the Olympic matches, we'll love to see you decorate your office with a yellow roo under the Fair One sign and Baby Chino sporting face paint. My wife won't let me face paint Baby Chino, but if I do, I will do something to make it, more thing. Fab, what's your prediction for Whittaker Adesanya 2? I think it's a tough fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think Robb's got a little bit of momentum behind him, and I think that Robb will probably win if I had to guess. That's my feeling. I think Robb would win. I think it's a tough fight. I'm going to do more of a breakdown closer to their fight, whenever that is. But both guys hit super hard. Both guys are, they're gonna come at each other. I don't think it'll go the distance. That's my prediction, but I think Robb will win. Okay. Peacekeeper says, Fab, honest take on Ryan Hall, tough loss. I think Ryan Hall is a fantastic grappler, and I don't know that he's under any kind of illusion as to what his skill set is and what his ways of winning are. I don't think so. If Ryan Hall gets you on the ground, he's going to more than likely submit you, or grapple fuck you to death. But if he can't, it's going to be a problem, and that's how it goes. You know what I mean? That's my take on it. Budim says, what's Alex's connection to Macedonia? Is he from there, like parents or something? Yeah, he's part Greek, part Macedonian. Yeah, he was on the podcast. He spoke about it. Joseph says, Coach, if the price is right, sign the contract. Haha. Marshall Smarter says, I think his dad was king of Macedonia, right? Christian Lorenz says, fair one versus submission radio. In fairness, I like the submission radio guys. I like them. And whilst I don't think they can fight, they're about my size. And that's too much of a risk for me. I want to fight a little guy that can't fight. Like I want to fight like a 135er that can't fight. That's a fight I'd take on YouTube. Bare knuckles. I can't grapple anymore too much, but if he can't grapple, I'll do an MMA fight. If he can grapple or fight, I don't want to fight him. I want the most amount of money for the least amount of work. Hassan Ahmed says, laugh out loud. Fab wanting to bash on a 135er is honorable. I think it's honorable. I'm not lying. I'm not out here going, I want to fight so-and-so, pulling out of the fight. No, I want to fight someone that can't fight, never had a fight, can't fight, doesn't even train, right? And I outweigh them, right? I have to weigh 180 on the day, right? I have to weigh 180 on the day. That's fair. I'm about 185, so it's a solid 5 pounds that I have to lose. I'll probably lose that in training, but still, I have to weigh 180 on the day, and he has to weigh 135 on the day. He can't have any fight experience, right? Any fight experience. He can, unless it's at the Dakota guy, he can have that one fight, and it's got to be bare knuckles, and it's got to be it can be MMA, it can be MMA, but it has to be bare knuckle. I think I've stipulated what I want, and that's fair. So yeah, I think Christian Lorenz says fair one versus submission radio is a charity fight and for the Aussie belt. I like them, and like I said, it's too close. They're too close to my size. T-Ball Paul says the president of the BKFC says always has the 14 humanitarian groups are suing me. Look on his face. Oh my boy. Drew Doc says, ha ha ha, crying at grapple fuck. Man, grapple fuck's a real thing. I would grapple fuck one of those little 135ers so bad, so fucking badly if I could fight him in MMA. But it's got to be a 135er that can't fight. Don't come and bring me some dude that's had 2 fights, is a blue belt, and maybe an amateur boxing fight. I don't want it. I do not fucking want anyone that can fight back. I want to fight someone that cannot fight back. Um, nah, Joshua Faber has too much experience, dude. You know, Hassan Ahmed says, I think I could knock out a female strawweight in like 5 seconds. Then that's who you should be trying to angle to fight. Let me see who we got here. Buddhim says he has to drink 2 bottles of wine the day before the fight, like Costa. We can say that the guy would have to do it. Joseph says, Coach Fab negotiating his way to a legalized manslaughter. Hey, if someone wants to take that fight, then it is what it is. Man, this Blueface guy says Blueface is way bigger than Kane Trujillo. Way bigger. Who's Andrew Keefe? I don't know who Andrew Keefe is. But he sounds like a tough name. He sounds like an Irish kind of like tough dude in that. So no. Paulie Malignaggi? No, man. Paulie Malignaggi is a boxing legend. He can fucking fight. Like, I'm talking about and like what I'm saying, I'm being fucking honest about it. I've seen professional boxers that make their name fighting dudes that like they look like they drag them off the pokies or drag them out of driving a cab. I'm just saying, like, I'm just being straight out and saying, like, if I was to take a fight, it'd have to be someone, right? And I'll get like a private detective to make sure that he's never had a fucking fight ever, right? Ever. And that I outweigh them by a fucking fair stretch. And I'm just putting it out there and saying, I'm stipulating this. I'm not one of those guys that's saying, like, you know, oh, this is a real fight. I'm working my no. I want this. This is what I'm saying. If that and the money's right, like, I'm not going to go fight someone like that for nothing. But if the money's right, then I'll fight him. But it's got to be that. It's got to be a little guy, like a tiny guy that can't fight, preferably not even physically active. I'd prefer to have someone like, someone from Silicon Valley, someone like that, like a little guy from Silicon Valley that maybe, is in charge of some shit, JavaScript or something. I don't know. That whatever people from Silicon Valley do. But one of those guys that's tiny and is skinny fat and not aggressive at all, like that has less testosterone than my daughter. Someone like that, I'll fucking fight him and I'll put a beating on him and fucking hurt him if the money's right. But that's who I would fight. That's when you see Braveheart come out. That's when you see the courage that I have inside me and fucking 41 years of prejudice, oppression, and hate inside me. Like, I will just let loose on this person. But the money's got to be right. The money's got to be right. So Saint says, Fab, in your prime, could you win against GSP? Absolutely not. I'm just saying to you, like, that's who I want. Christian Lawrence says, you versus Joshua Fabia in Marvel Stadium. Shaka Garami says, Andrew O'Keefe was a host of Deal or No Deal who just got done for beating up his girlfriend. But obviously, you're not listening to me. I just said to you, I want to fight someone that has never had a fight. He's obviously had a fight. I don't want someone like that. I want someone that's never had a fight. Hassan Ahmed says, I'd fight 3 midgets and 2 petite girls at the same time. It'd be interesting, dude. It's not that hard. 2 people versus 1, if they can fight, it will beat you. Like I was saying before, like they only have to grab a limb. Joseph says, moral of the story, kids, is work hard, not smart. EC Kelly Ray CB says, fight Justin Bieber. I think Justin Bieber's like a purple belt or something in jiu-jitsu. Nah. No. And he's got good footwork from the dancing and shit. No fucking way. No way. No. I know when I'm being you're probably his manager, like leading a lamb to the slaughter. No. It's got to be someone that can't fight. Someone can't fight, never fought, tiny person, and big fucking money. That's what I want. Nah, Hasbullah's too aggressive, dude. That's Marshall Smartest. That's exactly what we need to do. Classified 41-year-old male looking for sedentary dwarf for bare knuckle boxing, for bare knuckle fighting. It's got to also be a sedentary dwarf with no fighting experience. That's who I want. That's who I'm getting after. Does anyone know what kind of influencer Trujillo is? Sasank says, would you fight Jake Paul in underwater wrestling for $400? Jake Paul is way too strong and big for me. You know what I mean? And he's in the prime of his life. Not for $400, but yeah, probably. Yes. Yeah. Fuck it. Why not? John Merritt says, sounds like you want to fight ET. I would kick the fuck out of ET. I'd fight ET like in Pride Rules and soccer kick him like Shogun. Marshall Smarter says, I read it. I read it the other day when you told me to read the midgets versus the lion. Burim Saliji says, midgets would fuck you up, dude. They got that weed power. Drew Doc says, B-Bud smack up for sure. Man, I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't back myself. Not with the footwork. Yeah, I don't know. We're off, people. Trujillo, they're both with a high guard. Neither one of these dudes can fight, but they got in there. Blueface is very long. Switch hitter, goes from southpaw to orthodox. Trujillo, you know, I'm going to try and do this as legitimately as possible. There's 1 minute and 36 seconds to go. Blueface showing some big shots from his, being able to switch stances and throw shots from a lead right hand. Great work by Blueface. Trujillo very composed, sits behind a jab. Uppercut, huge uppercut landed by Blueface. Trujillo in there swinging like a windmill. He's swinging for the fences. He's holding with his left hand and swinging uppercuts and body shots. And now Trujillo is talking to him. He knows that some of those shots have landed on Blueface. Blueface swinging a miss with the right hand. Unbelievable display of showmanship and aerial boxing from both of these men. Big jab from the southpaw stance, from a switch hitting stance does Blueface. Trujillo looking for shots of his own, countering Blueface as Blueface was charging in on a blitz with a left-hand lead. Unbelievable show of skill and talent by both men. Trujillo moving, dancing along the peripheries of the ring. Blueface once again, he does a very good jab where he throws a jab out and his backhand extends at the same time as he's punching using mainly elbows to punch. Not a lot of body shots, but he catches Trujillo with an uppercut, does Blueface. Blueface is finding a home for his range, but Trujillo is showing that he has a very, very good heart and a great chin, a granite chin. Nice body rip to the spleen by Trujillo. 14 seconds to go. What a fight, people. What a display of heart, grit. They are like the boxers of old that will fight 100 rounds, 50 to 100 rounds, and then go back and work in the foundry the next day. That's the bell, guys. What a round. What a round, ladies and gentlemen. We are in for a treat of pugilistic showmanship. Christian Lorenz says, will you wait for the second round to commentate for the Olympics to see how the Aussies do? I just have to see if I can match them up with what I'm doing. That's what I have to see. Sorry, I'm just going to skip a few people. Drew Doc says, way too much commentary effort from Lord Fab, but goddamn do I respect it. Mate, that was some pretty impressive striking from these two gentlemen. I can see that the cornerman has Calvin Klein underwear as his pants are slipping down. Trujillo looks very composed in the corner. Mate, it's pretty insane out here, the display of skills shown by both these guys. Hassan Ahmed says, this is unrelated, but Corey Sanhagen's new warrior mentality is so fascinating. I don't know what you're talking about, Hassan, but I'm going to go with yes, it is. And we're about to have a start of the second round. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 156 seconds to go in this second round. Huge right hand landed by Blueface. Blueface is looking for a home for that right hand. They're exchanging. Trujillo does a spin and a turn and a pirouette, and then goes looking for a home for his left hook. Blueface is coming on strong. He's throwing punches left and right. Trujillo looks like he's been electrocuted as he bounces off the cage. Now he's going, throwing, swinging. Has Blueface wasted his energy? Blueface is smiling, a sure sign that he's been hurt by one of a barrage of punches from Trujillo. Blueface more composed now. Lead left uppercut from the southpaw stance finds a home on the chin of Trujillo. But nothing can crack this chin, I don't think. 1 minute and 13 seconds to go. Both these men are exhausted. What an effort from both these guys. 1 minute to go. Second round. Huge right hand lands by Blueface. Trujillo with a little left hook of his own. Huge right hand. What a chin on Trujillo. Blueface hitting him with everything but the kitchen sink. He's hitting him. And Trujillo manages to run along the peripheries of the cage. Nice jumping jab by Trujillo. He got both feet off the ground as he launched himself into a jab and a makeshift kind of spear like a Zulu warrior of old. But Blueface is hitting him with every single uppercut known to man. He's hitting him to the body again with another spear. Big left hand landed by Blueface. There's so much action I can barely keep up. I like the Zulu spear that Trujillo throws as a jab where he launches his whole body like a giant phallus. It just launches himself through the sky and hits him with a fist like that. Boom. Oh, lead uppercut with a left hand from the southpaw stance by Blueface. Trujillo showing off a great chin, a granite chin, and a giant heart. Right hand landed by Blueface. Blueface is also tiring. Right hand lands by Trujillo on the bell. What? Mate, this is insane. This is insane. Absolutely insane. He has taken a lot of shots, man. So Sank says, Fab, have you ever had any CTE symptoms during your MMA years? No, I haven't. I don't know now. Like I kind of forget. I kind of forget stuff, but I think that's got more to do with I don't sleep because of my daughter. Right hand landed by Blueface. Now I'm just watching it in the replays. Insane. See, even guys like this are too dangerous to fight because they game and they throw punches, and that puts me at risk. So I wouldn't fight people like this. This is way too experienced. I want people that can't fight at all. Jerry Hassan Ahmed says Jeremy Stevens probably pushed Carson. The third and final round, people. We're going down the stretch. We're going down the home stretch. We're going to take it home. One of these gentlemen is going to be the anchor, people. He's going to take us home this last leg of the relay. Huge show of heart from Trujillo and Blueface as well. They touch gloves in the center of the ring, and we are off with 1:56 to go. Will Trujillo be able to survive this war of attrition? Hits Blueface with a huge right hand. Trujillo again with a Zulu spear jab. Oh, and another right hand lands by Trujillo. He lands another right hand. Like some sort of Aztec warrior of old. Nice. Trujillo's in there when he plants his feet and does swinging punches like that. Sometimes he lands them, man, and they're good. And he drops his head and lands some more punches. Blueface has put in, I believe Blueface has won this fight so far, 2 rounds to maybe a 1, but they're just swinging, and Blueface is swinging for the fences as well. Blueface seems very fit. Blueface manhandles Trujillo to the ground. That was a push. Do not give him a standing 8 count, referee. Please, sir, do not, because that was a push. They're in there and they're swinging, and Trujillo maybe. Are we going to see a Cinderella story from Trujillo? Are we going to see it? Oh, it's a huge uppercut, and he's talking to the ref. He's saying to the ref, that wasn't fair, sir. That wasn't right. He hit me on the break. And is he right to say that? I don't know, but he's taking huge shots from Blueface. They stopped. They're giving him a standing 8 count. 39 seconds to go. Trujillo is not there, man. Stop the fight. Come on, please. Stop the fight. Stop the fight. He's not there, dude. But Blueface, they touch gloves again. What an amazing show of respect from these two warriors of the ring that did battle for 3 consecutive rounds. 3 2-minute rounds. My God. Look at them go. What an amazing show of heart from Trujillo. I hope to God he's getting paid, honestly. He's taking so many shots to the head. Another right hand landed by Blueface. Blueface is now working the body. Trujillo's clinching. Great show of heart by both guys. Far out. That is done. But Ahmed says, best round since Hagler versus Holmes. That's what it reminded me, man. Oh, my God. Fab, those exchanges were wild, says Christian Laurent. They were. Barim says Trujillo looks like he's grabbing water from beneath. Gary the Goat says things I never thought I'd hear Fab describing a TikTok influencer as some sort of Aztec warrior of old. Oh, Jaden Smith. No, he's done the Karate Kid. He's got some martial arts background. Find me someone that like cannot fight. You know who I'd fight? I'd fight Danny DeVito. That's a fight I'd do. Danny DeVito versus me, bare knuckle MMA. Let's do it. That'd be a good fight, man. I'd work that body with front kicks. Danny DeVito, that's the one. Let me see what Danny DeVito. Yeah, man, perfect. Let me see if they've got some 4'10", 147 centimeters, born 1944, so he's older than my mum. Age 76. Man, I think we got it. I think we got it. Actor, producer, director, screenwriter, nothing about him being a fighter. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's the one I want, man. Nah, I've got it. I've got it. I want Danny DeVito. That's the one I want. Since we're all doing these fights. Son Ahmed said, maybe you should head kick Morgan Freeman. Fuck it hell. Marshall Smarter says, how would you know if he switched last minute with his twin? With Arnie, fuck, you wouldn't want to fight Arnie. Actually, I'm a huge fan of Danny DeVito. He's such a cute little fellow. Joseph says, never imagine waking up today that I'll hear Coach say Danny DeVito's stats in his podcast. Mate, you never know what's coming. You never know what's coming. It's like a Trujillo jab. You never know when it's coming, how it's coming, where it's coming from, where, how. I'm going to do it. I'll be back in a second. Yeah, it's just on the phone with my manager, man. I want to make it. I want to make it happen. I want to fight either a Silicon Valley little nerd guy that works on JavaScript all day and can't fight, or Danny DeVito, man. If like his people talk to my people and make it happen, I brutalize him with knees and elbows from the clinch. What happened? I just missed it. What happened? Did they get into it? Oh, was there a fight? Okay, let me see what happened here. Okay, so blue. I just rewound that. So it kicked off, eh? Why, but why'd they kick off? Was there bad history between them? So Blueface is happy. They touched gloves. Everything was happy. Everyone was good. Everyone's happy at this point. I'm looking at this retrospectively. Oh. And Trujillo's coach is like a tiny little guy. And it's on. Everyone's fighting. Oh, and they're still going. I see. Right. Okay. I was just watching that why they were fighting. Okay. Is Hassan Ahmed said, isn't this the second time a brawl has broken out at BKFC? Um I I, I don't know. Like Hector punched that other dude the other day. Marshall Smarter says, I think Mark Zuckerberg is actually made of wax and simply reattach his head like the T3000. Oh, Zuckerberg, eh? Hey, let's do the same card, Hassan Ahmed. You versus Zuckerberg and me versus DeVito on the same card. James Hannell says, fight someone like Samuel L. Jackson's character from Unbreakable, get the early stoppage. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. Drew Doc says, this is so embarrassing considering the level of competition. It's pretty bad. What fight we on, big boy? Blueface just finished. Yeah, Drew Doc just finished then. Drew Doc. Bluebeard. Is it Blueface? Bluebeard? He just finished. Baby, could you give me water, please? Yeah, man. So that was it's interesting, man. I'm not let's be real. Was it entertaining? It was entertaining. Hassan Ahmed says Zuckerberg is a tiny guy. Laugh aloud. I'm much bigger than him. I'm bigger than Danny DeVito, but I'm man enough to fucking say that's who I want to fight. If Zuckerberg's tiny, maybe I'd fight Zuckerberg. But he's young, man. He's young. He might go and train and fucking I don't know. You know, I want to believe that I've got the cardio advantage on Velazquez versus Herrera. These are guys are little guys. I'm hoping that they actually can fight. Hold on. Herrera is minus 140 and plus 110 is Velazquez. So no. These guys can fight. These guys can actually fight. So this should be a good fight. This should be good. I'm excited. I want to watch them. They're little flyweights. Good. Oh, yeah, super pumped for it. Gary the Goat says, Fab, you got Zuckerberg all day. I'd put my house on it. How big is Zuckerberg? Is he a big guy? Oh, the Colombian flag by Herrera. I believe it's Herrera. Christian Lorenz says, I see Paige winning tonight, Fab. What about you? Probably Paige, I'd say. Hassan Ahmed says, I'm a little wild. Laugh out loud. Did Blueface fight yet? Says that gamer. Yeah, he just won. Drew Dog says, Fab, if you hurt Danny DeVito, the world will hurt. The world will hurt you. It's not worth it. Now, I'm a huge Danny DeVito fan, actually. I think he's fantastic. To be fair, it's the only time that my name and his name would ever get mentioned in the same sentence. So, nothing but respect to Danny DeVito. I think he's amazing. Marshall Smarter says, rule number 1, don't fight hand-to-hand combat with someone who will anal probe you. Yeah, true. Gary the Goat says, Zuck is 5'7". That's light work for Fab. We'll have to see, man. I have to pick my opponents like proper, you know? Hassan Ahmed says, Fab, if you beat up Danny DeVito, then you can chin Batman. Christian Lorenz says, Blueface was a gamer. That fight was an absolute scrap. Oh, it was. Christian Lorenz says, haymakers from God. Mate, they just went for it. and the Puerto Rican flag for Velazquez. I believe Velazquez. It spins me out that there's people in the crowd and that, and we're in such bad lockdown here. Drew Doc says, how tall's people from the chat? Drew Doc says, I'm a small 8-footer. The only way I can see me beating Zuckerberg is to chop him down with leg kicks. That'd be the only way to stop the movement. Marshall Smarter says, DeVito is smart, but Ben Affleck would make you a hero. Isn't Ben Affleck a big guy? I thought Ben Affleck was a big guy, like a tall kind of big guy. So, nah, too big. Way too big for me. Joseph says, I'm a solid 5'1" Samoan. So you're probably 6 years old or something. These people are about to kick off. Marshall Smarter says, kick the shit out of Batman, dude. Hassan Ahmed says, Fab, you should need Ryan Reynolds. Isn't Ryan Reynolds a big guy as well? Isn't he a big guy? Gary the Goat says, Maverick or Barber. I'm thinking Maverick. I'm not sure, man. I wouldn't be able to tell you which out of those two I think will win. Robb and VanZant. Why, man? What's wrong, man? Honestly, can't you see everyone's here having a good time? Don't be that guy, Robin. Just be a nice guy. Gian Herrera is from Colombia, fighting out of Florida. And I believe that he is the favorite. This should be a good scrap. Marshall Smarter says, my boy's wicked smart. That's from Good Will Hunting. When is Page fighting? I think at least, one more fight? 2 more fights? Joseph, coach, on a serious note, your thoughts on Hall versus Strickland? I'm a big fan of Strickland as a fighter. Very, very, very underrated boxer. I mean, I don't know if he's underrated, but he's a very good boxer and he's a very good fighter. Very, very scrappy. Again, every guy more or less, other than Tom Breese, every other guy I thought he's going to bash him. I thought Strickland's going to bash him. So Uriah Hall's going to be a big answer a lot of questions there. We're off. Velazquez and Herrera, but man, these two flyweights can really box. Velazquez in the southpaw stance, but he's a switch hitter himself. He goes from southpaw to orthodox, and he is able to take that distance into to Herrera. Man, these guys. Oh shit! Velazquez got dropped bad. He looks like he's all right. This is a round 1 of 5 with a head movement. Oh, he got dropped again. How many times are you going to let the dudes get dropped, though? You know what I mean? Velazquez in a lot of trouble, man. In close, they're just swinging these little guys. Velazquez is now kind of leaning forward, so he's kind of leaning into the shots, and he shot a double leg. Did Velazquez get dropped bad? He got dropped bad, and the ref had his back to him. He's in all sorts of trouble, but he got hit after the break. So this is interesting. But the problem is the trauma's still like there. This is the 3rd time he got dropped in that round. "41 seconds to go." Big exchanges here. Oh, he lands on Herrera. He lands some big shots on Herrera. Does Velazquez, but Herrera drops Velazquez for the 3rd, actually 4th time. Velazquez in all sorts of trouble. Ref, stop the fucking fight. Stop the fight. He's just landing shots. He's dropped him again, has Herrera. That was more of a push. Ah, man. I don't know, man. Got dropped too many times already. How many times you want a guy to get dropped? I don't understand. Just want to see where we're at. So there's still 1, 2, 3, 4 more fights to go. I don't think this fight's going to see a third round, to be honest. It's bad. He's ate some big shots, man. He got dropped 4 times in this round. And we're off. No, they stopped it. The doctor's making him just looking to see if he can see. He said, yeah, throw him back in there. The problem is, man, the Velazquez has got a big heart. He's going to fight. 100% he's going to fight. But he's been dropped too many times, man. He got dropped so bad with a left hook. His hands hit the ground. He got back up, right? And he kept fighting. They didn't stop it. And then he cracked him again. Herrera cracked him. Busted his head open. The thing is, he got dropped. His hands hit the ground. That's it. It should have called that. It should have given him a standing 8. But the ref, his hands touched the ground. The guy got up and kept swinging, and the ref let it go, and the guy cracked him again. That was pretty bad, man. That was pretty bad. So much. Herrera bashed him, man. Unnecessary. Honestly, it was unnecessary. To give my honest appraisal of this event thus far, I think like it's entertaining from some perspectives, I suppose. If you like watching the YouTubers fight and that, at least they had gloves, and it was all right. It's like a fun way for us to hang out and kind of thing. But as far as like Drew Doc says someone's going to die at these events. Oh my god, yeah, the mismatch is huge. The mismatch is huge, and guys are taking more damage than is necessary. Like the mismatches are too big. Marshall Smarter says the people want what the people want. Gather the fruits and vegetables, regain the pillory stock from the old barn. Chuck Les says, I don't get it either. How many times can someone get dropped in BKFC? Is there no 3 in a round rule? What's the deal? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But the shots that guy took were too big, too many. Now they're hugging, they're embracing. Great show of sportsmanship and respect. Wow. Broom Soldier says, what do you think they get paid at all? Well, I think Paige VanZant's on pretty good money. I believe Ostovich would be on decent money, probably. I think Hector Lombard would be on good money, like some of those people. But I don't think these guys. I think the YouTubers and that would probably get a little bit of money. But yeah, I don't know what yeah, I don't know. I don't think that some of these other guys would be on much money at all. JL Lay says, honestly, has there ever been a UFC fighter you looked at and thought, yeah, I might be able to take him on? Honestly, I don't really have those thoughts. And all jokes aside, you got to respect people. They're actually the ones fighting. So, yeah, not really. Juice says, where's the puffer jacket? The people demand to know. Hassan Ahmed said, yeah, that's Sugar Ray Robinson story was nuts. Christian Lawrence says Sugar Ray Robinson killed Jimmy Doyle with a left hook and dreamed about it before it actually happened. That's crazy, eh? That is insane. Sorry, I got mixed up when you were saying. I was thinking like I haven't said anything about Sugar Ray Robinson. CM Punk, if I had a pocket full of change to startle him, man, that was. I think heavyweights are the heavyweights coming up now. Now you got a women's featherweight bout, then a women's featherweight bout, then a heavyweight bout, and then the other girls. I'll be back. I'm just going to charge my phone. So I think now the girls, Taylor Starling and Cassandra Robb, um, minus 375 favorite is Taylor Starling. Is Cassandra Robb, is she a celebrity as well? Does anyone know? Like, I don't, like, who is she in this whole thing? Who are any of us? Um, the problem with this, yeah, is just the mismatching, eh? Hassan Ahmed says Chandler's a small guy and has so much power, man. It's insane. The man has rockets in his hands. Yeah, but he looks like a very put together guy. Like he doesn't look like a little guy. He's just got, and he's thick, man. He's a thick guy. He's got big hands. Like he looks like he'd hit hard. Marshall Smarter says they garnered the name ankle biter not as an epithet, but as a badge of honor for their tenacious low singles. Christian Lorenz says, do you see Savage Monster Kiwi heavyweight David Nika winning gold? He could. He could. But there's good people coming out of Eastern Europe and the US and all of that. There's always someone good, you know. But he could. I would have had Justice as the favorite, me personally. But yeah. Broom Saligi says Chandler has a good striking coach too, so I'm sure he has a great technique too. Um, yeah, but Chandler has always like had power. He's got God given power, you know, and the way that he's just made, you can tell he's going to hit hard. He's short, but he generates a lot of power. No, but Christian Lawrence, Justice isn't going though. He broke his hand. I can't wait for Gunny versus Lewis, says Hassan Ahmed. It's going to be a cracker. It's going to be a cracker. Christian Lorenz says both Justice and Nyaka will be champs one day. I agree. One foot out the door says EPO for Max and steroids for Marty. And says I hope Hooker gets to fight McGregor. I hope so too, but I don't think McGregor will fight Hooker. Burim says, see, I'm not interested at all for Geane versus Lewis for some reason. Drew Doc says Chandler's striking reminds me of Woodley's. Woodley, more than anything, though, sits behind the right hand and he backs up when he does it. Chandler's more dynamic with his striking. He comes forward and he's got different things. Tactically, he's a bit better than Woodley, I think. Both girls are dancing and rapping. Um, wow. I don't know what to make of this event, dude. I don't know. Like this event, like this is not going to go mainstream per se. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's got like an entertainment value. Like if you knew what was in junk food, you'd think there's no fucking way that people will eat this. Not even if you knew. Like just when you read like on the back like of what's in, you know, certain fast foods and whatnot, you'd think there's no fucking way people would eat it, but yet we do. And not only do we, but we love it. So there's something to be said about that with this. It's bad. It's kind of like a car wreck in some ways, but I'll watch this again. No, I won't watch this same event again, but I'll watch BKFC again. It's it's definitely fun and entertaining in as far as like the fact I think that some of these guys have low skill. I'm just giving my assessment, not necessarily whether I like it or not. I'm just saying the fact that some of these guys have low skill means that it sort of resonates with the lowest common denominator of fight fan. And that you don't have to know a lot to watch this and go, "Oh, he won," or "This is what's happening." You don't. It's not like a technical, tactical boxing match or K1 or MMA. It's just like two people that, in some cases, are very unskilled. Some people are skilled, but some people are really unskilled, and they're just swinging for the fucking fences. So yeah. Um, Jay Elise says, "Do you think anyone can learn to KO TKO people with the proper skill? I've noticed that in the UFC, the lightest divisions are seeing more KOs and TKOs as time goes on. It just depends, dude. It depends. Like you're also seeing an influx of people that come from really good striking backgrounds as well. That have the girls are started, and Starling is all over Robb. She is all over her, swinging for the fucking fences. She's just fucking flogging her, just cracking her. And Robb's got her hands up. She's got her hands up, but fucking Starling is doing like a boxercise class on her head. She just keeps hitting her and hitting her and hitting her, and that's it. It's over. It was over in 30 seconds. Busted her eye open, just fucking flayed on her. Like it was. She just cracked and cracked and cracked and cracked her. I think there's an influx of people like you see guys like Peter Yan and that with actual proper boxing credentials coming through. Guys like Israel that have actual kickboxing backgrounds. He's just getting higher and higher level of athlete. So yeah, I mean, you can obviously learn to KO and TKO. Hitting people correctly, being able to time shots correctly. All of that's got massive thing. Like working with some people now, and like people can hit hard and they can know the skill, but then it's how to employ that tactic correctly, and how to set yourself up to do things correctly is very, very important. So yeah, that's definitely coming along. Um, yeah, is it usually like this? The Royce C says it's been a bit of a car crash card. This card says Royce C, but is it always like this? Um, Brim says, yeah, and Garner's the scariest heavyweight right now, and because he beat my boy Stipe, I have to kind of cheer he wins, so Stipe gets rematch or something. Drew Doc says it changes too much, and as a man with Dubliners in his family, it's easy to notice. Christian Lorenz says when McGregor turns his savage level on, his English starts to become a mixture of Irish, heavier than anyone can translate. Christian Lorenz, what are you laughing at, my friend? What are you laughing at so profusely? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not the girl. She's back to dancing. See, I don't know what kind of money she'd be on. Um, Marshall Smarter says, can you tell me if his selfies are with a semi though? Thanks in advance. Just asking for self-esteem. Sport Reaction says, I love watching VanZant fights. Sport Reactions, will you watch Olympics, boxing, and wrestling? I will. Yes, I will. I will. Yes. Christian Lorenz says flogging, mate. um, Chuck Les says that fight is a prelude for what Fab versus Danny DeVito will look like. Joseph says, I don't know how to take what I just watched. That was a beating. Hassan Ahmed says, Fab, have you ever heard about Sean Porter versus Crawford? What do you reckon of it? Um, I don't think anyone beats Crawford, man. Right now, like right now. 1 foot out the door says flogging. I think it was exactly that, an absolute flogging. She just punched her, right? Like she must have known that the other girl could not defend herself because she just hit her for 30 seconds straight with no with impunity. She didn't think, oh, I better not go like this because she on my gas. She was like, I know that this person can't defend herself. She was like 30 seconds like that. Hurt her. Bad, bad, bad. There was no like awkward gas, I better watch out. Like she knew that the other girl couldn't defend herself. That's the kind of fight I want. Like that. Um yeah, it was pretty bad. She just kept hitting her and 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 hitting her. It wasn't like anything thing. Royce says, I watched maybe 3 or 4 BKFC events, and this is definitely the worst for skill discrepancy and minimum level on show. Okay, it's pretty bad. Martial Smartest says, Zulu laugh out loud, kick him in the kidneys, Rickson. Hassan Ahmed says, I don't think he will be Connor level because he isn't as witty as him or eloquent. One O'Malley is undefeated. Nah, he doesn't have it doesn't seem to have like the push that a McGregor has. That's just the thing. Rachel VanZant is a huge favorite. Not Rachel, Paige VanZant is a huge favorite. Now we got Brittany Hart versus Jenny Savage. What are the odds? -265 favorite for Britton Hart. Sorry, Britton Hart versus Jenny Savage. Who are these people? Are these people anyone of any sort of are they fighters or are they YouTubers? What's the go? So I don't know, man. I nah. Let's see this fight. Oh my god. I'm just watching some of the highlights, if you will. Joseph says they are probably local bakers coach. Okay, Hassan Ahmed says Brittany Hart beat Paige. I see. I see. I see. I see. Because I remember that Paige VanZant had lost like her first fight here. She got a 4-fight deal and she lost the first one. But she's still headlining. There's a walkout now. Very, very, very focused walkout. What I've noticed, there is a huge more emphasis on singing and performing during the walkout. I think it's got to do with the ramp. The ramp seems to do that to you. Almeida, Hassan Ahmed, I agree. I think Almeida has lost a step. Christian Lorenz says, I saw Van Jam jump round, kick her opponent in the UFC at Vancouver. Drew Doc says, true, but definitely a threat. Roy says, I'm not convinced Almeida isn't a can. I don't think he's a can, but I think he's very tailor made for someone like Sean O'Malley to fight. That's kind of the guy that like is kind of perfect as well for Sean. You know, he's a guy that's going to come forward and take the. Look, I want to see Sean O'Malley fight. Robb Font is a good one, I think. Oh my god, I just watch. I don't like seeing the girls punch the shit out of each other, like that. It's weird to me because the skill discrepancy is huge. And this is the girl that beat Paige VanZant. Then I take it. Yeah, I don't know. Drew Doc says O'Malley versus Gabrandt would be insane too. The thing with I think O'Malley probably beats Gabrandt um if O'Malley just stays out of those big exchanges because I think Cody is not a good matchup for O'Malley. O'Malley likes to switch stances and hit, and I see Gabrandt kind of probably putting himself into those punching ranges as well. That's my opinion. Mixed partial farts. What's up, Fab? Anyone got a link to the BKFC event? I can't give you links, man. Mixed partial farts. Somebody was saying that you had a YouTube channel before. What happened if that is the case? 1 foot out the door. You didn't notice last fight she was grinding her jaw. Slight exaggeration. Marshall Smarter said mud wrestling and bum fights would be wild. Drew Doc says I think Cody is quicker than Sean though. Yeah, but I think that those exchanges aren't going to be good for Cody either. You know what I mean? I don't know. He's good. He's very good. I don't know. That'll be an interesting fight. JLA says, Fabs, how was that shepherd's pie last night? Lamb or beef? I think it was beef. I think. I think it was beef. Let me ask. Baby, was the shepherd's pie lamb or beef yesterday? It was beef, and it was very, 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 very good. Very good. Outdid herself, I have to say. My wife outdid herself. Very wrong. Very, very good. Ophon, anyone got a link to Google? I don't understand what that means. You can just go on the thing and press Google, and you'll find Google. Burim says, I got one, but don't know how to give it to you if I can say it here in chat. You can't do it on the chat, but I don't know, private message him or someone. 1 foot at the door says O'Malley's one dimensional. O'Malley's going to have problems with other guys that can switch stances, and that leg kick, that's going to be a big one for him. Hassan Ahmed said, this is unrelated, but Sean's braids for fight night are sick. I've got long hair, so I'm going to get braids done like that. Hassan Ahmed says, no asking for links, lads. No, sir. Mrs. Fab with the Fab food, man. Mrs. Fab can really cook. Honestly, I'm very lucky. Marshall Smarter says, "What do you mean he's one dimensional? He can dribble left, he can dribble right. He can, hey, dribble with both hands, mate. He's a triple threat." I don't know. I want to see him fight Aldo. I think Aldo can leg kick, but he's not really a switch hitter. Aldo doesn't really switch stances. That's the thing that's going to make it a little bit difficult for Sean when someone that can switch stances with him, someone like a Peter Yan, makes it a little bit harder for guys that like to go southpaw orthodox southpaw when somebody else will switch stances as well. Well, that's the one I want to see. That's the one I want to see. I want to see Aldo versus O'Malley. Mixed partial fart says, hope you are doing well, Fab. I'll try finding a link, haha. And no, to be honest, I've never had a YouTube channel where I've actually put up videos or anything. Just used to have a different account to view videos. Because somebody said on one of the comments that you had a channel that was called that was the name of the channel. Okay, so Hart versus Savage. We're off. Hart in the blue. Savage is in the southpaw stance, and Hart is already. She's looking to cut that angle and get that foot outside of her lead foot. Savage in the southpaw stand. Hart in the orthodox stance. Hart looks to have a fair bit of range on her as well. Looking for that right hand lead is Hart. Left hand lead by Savage. Both girls are just outside of each other's range. 49 seconds to go in a rather uneventful round that I have to say Hart is edging. Oh. None of these shots are landing clean, though, by Hart. They're kind of glancing off. It's not a very measured approach by Hart. 30 seconds to go. A lot of pummeling, a lot of clinching, a lot of grappling here, stand-up grappling. Oh, hit her with a right hand on the break, did Hart. Savage saying something. I'd like to see Hart employ a little bit more of a jabs, try to split the defense of Savage, because Savage got a high guard, but it's very open. And that's the round. These girls got a little bit more skill though. So yeah, this is a little bit more interesting to watch. So someone was saying this is the worst one. Okay. Hassan Ahmed says, all right, lads, I'm feeling a little tired, so I'm off to sleep. Good talking to you all. Thank you, Hassan. And look after yourself, man, especially with the COVID thing and that. Stay safe, you and your family, and look after yourself and, all the best, man. Enjoy yourself. Take care. I'll catch you soon, mate. The girls are about to kick off now. Again. Marshall, smartest. Look at you. Heart. I just died in your heart tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your heart tonight. Whoa. Oh, heart. What a champion. Thank you very much, sir. Jay says, where's Hassan from? Ladies, he's from Birmingham by way of Bangladesh. Big combinations being thrown now by Hart. She's pushed Savage up against the ropes. Savage is she's not getting hurt, but she's kind of getting bullied in there. So she's losing the rounds. Drew Doc says, the booze is keeping me up. Many a shoey, nearly 4 here. Wow. Where are you, Drew Doc? Where are you? Are you in Canada as well? We've got a lot of Canadians. No, I've heard it, Juice. I just can't sing. I can't sing at all. Ophon says that means he has one of those Leon Edwards accents. He does. Drew Doc, Scotland. Hart's coming forward again. Savage tries to get off the ropes, but it's hard. She's smaller and she just gets fucking bullied here by Hart. Little uppercuts landing now. The 19 seconds to go. Hart's landing those little uppercuts up in the clinch. Marshall Smarter says, solid song. Jay says, I live in Southwest Sydney and never seen anyone do a shoey besides on TV. I grew up in Southwest Sydney and never seen anyone do a shoey. Ooh, man, in all the excitement, Hart has a massive mouse over her right eye. It's a big bruise over her right eye. It's definitely closing her eye up. Marshall Smarter says, we'll pay for singing attempts. Now, I've got to keep my dignity. I'm a fucking awful singer. When I was in kindergarten, right, this is back when you could fail shit. When I was in kindergarten, and it's hard to fail like the choir trials. I went to the trials to do to sing in the choir, and I had to sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and Baa Baa Black Sheep. And then the Mrs. Sweeney, who was a fucking sweetheart of a lady, she was my kindy teacher, and she looked at me and was like, "Nah." And then she goes to me, "Can you?" And then she tried to do the tone because I'm tone deaf. She tried to do the tone, and for me to copy the tone, and to this day I have no idea what that means. Like, people go, "Oh shit, Hart's landing some big shots, big shots on Savage, huge shots, absolutely bullying her, big rips to the body. Those uppercuts landed. Savage is in a bit of trouble, man. She's in a bit of trouble." But Hart's also got to know that she's got that mouse over her eye, and that's going to compromise her sight. So I think that's why she came in with so strong. Man, Hart came in strong. Savage took some shots, but that also takes a lot of your wind as well. Nice combinations now landing by Hart. Left hand lead by Savage goes missing. I'll tell you something, yeah. And so then she just looked at me and I failed. I didn't get in. Like I didn't get in to the fucking choir in kindergarten. That's how bad my singing is. You got to think how bad would you have to be to not let a little 5-year-old kid sing in the choir? I was bad. And you know what? I knew I was bad. Oh, Hart's landing some big shots on Savage. She landed some shots flush to the head of Savage. Savage looks like she's having problems with with her right eye socket. She looks like she can't really open that eye. Both girls, oh my God, she's landing shots now on Savage. She's landing shots almost at will to the body and to the head of Savage. Savage is in all sorts of trouble. She's getting hit to the body. There's 13 seconds to go. Knowing how they don't stop these fights, this fight's going to keep going. She is landing shots to the body and the head. Nah, they stopped it. Thank God they stopped it. Ref, you were a good man. Good for you, sir. Good for you. Okay. Ophon says, let's say we pay you $5 million a year for specific jobs, such as having a shoey after each fight at an Oceanic MMA event in the arena and also having to sing the national anthems before the start of each main card. Would I do it? Yeah, I'd do that. I wouldn't have a shoey from like random people, like the way uh Bam Bam does, but I would definitely. Jay says $2. Sing your wife's favorite song, please. I won't. She'll leave me, dude. I'll butcher the song. I'll fucking butcher the song so bad. I can't sing that song, man. I can't. I can't. As much as like I like money and I appreciate your support, I really can't sing. And my wife would leave me if I sang her favorite song like that. Drew Doc says only reason I was in the choir in primary school was because the girl I liked was in it. Yeah, but dude, it didn't matter to me who was in the choir. I couldn't get in. I couldn't get in. Um, Ophon says, would I do it? Yeah, for real, man. Christian Lorenz says, Fab, there was a fan who attacked Blueface and caused the brawl. What a wild fucking night. It's crazy. Um, thank you, Jay. Coach Joseph says, Coach, let's go, belt. My heart will go on for the people in the back. 1 foot out the door says, took more shots here than one red tube. Fuck it hell, she took a lot of shots, mate. That was bad. I don't even know who these people are, though. I don't know, like, what, like, who they are. You know what I mean? Fuck, she hurt her, man. I really don't. I don't like. I don't know. When I say that, I don't know. Like, I don't like. Britton Hart obviously can fight. I'm assuming her coach is also her boyfriend. Either that or they're very, very close. Um, Christian Lorenz says the Diaz brothers brawl in Nashville against Mayhem Miller was one of my favorites. It was like 30 people on one. You definitely from Sydney to think that's a fair fight. Drew Doc says you a rugby fan, Fab. I like rugby, but I don't watch it a lot. I don't watch. I played rugby league growing up. Ofon says if Dana told Robb that he needs to to do a shoey to get a title shot, do you think he'd do it? No idea. Christian Lorenz says, but the Khabib Conor brawl was probably the most epic in MMA history. Um, yeah, probably. The thing is, yeah, I'd say so. Yes, yeah. Joseph says, imagine if they're brother and sister. Burim Salji says, haha, they are very close. You know, that's the kind of relationship you want to have with your athletes. Still a few more to go. Ofon says, I still have a hard time believing Volkanovski was 200 pounds, even though he said so during his rugby days. Yeah, he was big, man. He was short, but he was big. He played front row. Um, Christian Lorenz says Volk was a monster. Yeah, he was a little big guy, man. A little big guy. Ofon says it's just insane. But you got to think, dude. There's guys like that do weights and that like he that that are short and big, and that's what Volkanovski was. But those guys are like that. Like Volkanovski's a big guy, dude. He's a fucking big dude. Joseph says, Jesus, this is a long card. It's ridiculously long. Um, Christian Lorenz says literally a wrecking ball. Yeah, but in football, dude, like the position he was playing, like he'd do well to a certain extent, but at a higher level, it's very hard, man, because the guys are taller and more athletic, faster. You know, if he was going to play football, he probably should have played hooker, not front row. Christian Lorenz says he has immense strength for featherweight. Honestly, he is very, very, very strong, like stupid strong. Another guy, like yeah, he's very, very strong. Um, I'll be back in a second, guys. Um, Marshall Smartest, Canada, $10 says, don't let a helping heart leave you bitter when you feel like selling out. Reconsider. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And if you get the choice to sit it out or dance, dance. I hope you dance. Nice. See, I don't know how that song goes. But the way I read those lyrics is very, very nice. I think. Anyways, Marshall Smartest. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Marshall, Marshall Smartest is having a karaoke night, I think, Barim. What's the time for you there, Marshall Smartest? Um, Burim says, who do I have? Usman versus Covington. I don't know, because see, I think that fight is a very close fight, man. I think it's a hard fight for Usman, and Usman knows it. There wasn't a lot in that fight, you know, going into it, in it, whatever. There wasn't a lot in it at all. I think it was close, you know, it was a close fight, and I think they match up really well. I think that they're both good grapplers. They're both like really good wrestlers with good jiu-jitsu. Um, Colby was also, a lot of people don't know, but he won the gold at the filler grappling event, which is it's no joke. You know, you got to be a very good grappler to do that. Um, I think, yeah, you know, so it's a tough one. It's a real tough fight there. I don't know. I will have to pick Usman just because Usman has proven that he knows how to win and he can do it. But we'll see. I don't know. Juice says, mate, I asked him to show us the rock salt lamp last week, and now he's completely covered it with a leaf. The disrespect. I'm sorry, sir. That wasn't me. That was my wife. She said, well, this is how we're going to do this. Jay says, did your wife ever complain about you watching fights, or do you tell her it works? Seems very supportive. Nah, she's very cool with that. But like, I only watch fights like with work stuff. You know what I mean? Like this is the podcast that I do. Then as soon as like this is over, like my time is with my wife and my daughter now. I don't have like, unless I'm coaching or training people or doing this, like that's all I do. I don't go out or do anything. You know what I mean? Really, I just spend time with my family. So it's not like, you know, I suppose it'd be different if I did this for, you know, this we're going on 3 hours here, dude. We're fucking going on 3 hours. This is going to go for the better part of 3.5 hours. So if I did this for 3.5 hours and then I said, oh, okay, I'm going to go, I don't know, go and hang out at, I don't know, whatever, then yeah, she'd probably have a problem with it, you know, but I don't, you know, so now as soon as we're done here, we're probably going to take the dog for a walk, go down to the beach, maybe hang out there, you know, have something to eat together. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. So yeah, that's probably why. She's very supportive though. Joseph says, how do I get through a night without you? If I had to live without you, what kind of life would that be? Oh, I need you in my arms, need you to hold. You're my world, my heart, my soul. From Joseph. Nice work, Joseph. Drew Doc says, Martial Art has got money to spend. Good on you, Marshall Smartest. We Are Live says, Fab, you should set your podcast up to read out the comments, bro. What do you mean? I do. I don't know what you mean by that. Ofon says, if Usman can't get knocked out by those shots by Burns, there is nothing Covington will do to him, in my opinion. But I'm wrong all the damn time, so I don't know shit. Man, anyone can get iced at any point, you know. Christian Laurent says, Marshall Smartest, what a fucking legend. Yes, sir. Hart won. Hart won the fight. We Are Live. Okay. We Are Live. Is that a lit candle, Fab? Yes, sir. Yes, it is. Drew Doc says, Party Boy Fab. We Are Live says, this is the longest card of all time. It's ridiculously long, dude. Ridiculously long. Marshall Smarter says, are they Jared from Subway room for two pants? Are they Jared from Subway room for two pants, though? I don't understand that. We Are Live. A robot voice can read out the super chats, bro. A robot voice can read out the super chats. Now, but I want to be able to read because I'm not always going to read everyone's thingos, and I like to be able to go backwards and forwards. There's a little bit of dancing going on here. Little bit of dancing. So this is Arnold Adams versus Michael Terrill. And then after that, we have the main event being the ladies. Ofon says, either way, I hope it's an exciting fight. It probably will be. Define exciting. You know what I mean? These are two big guys. They're going to throw bombs. And I think that one of them is going to go to sleep. So if that's exciting too, sir, exciting. Broom says, yeah, I really want to see that fight, Ofon. It's going to be a great one for sure. I'm not paying $15 a beer at a bar and put a mask on if I'm not drinking. Where are you? Because we can't even go to a bar. Marshall Smarter says, I just spend my money on meaningful things like paying for super chats of cheesy love songs. Hey, that's the only way to spend it, man, because that's got meaning, dude. So good on you. We Are Live says, let's go, bro. My stream is dead, so need your best commentary, okay, Fab? I'm going to do my best, my brother. I'm going to do my best. As I always do. I thought Colby wasn't that big for welterweight, says Ofon. He's not small, man. He's not a small welterweight at all. He's just built different, but he's not small. Luis Enrique says, hey, Fab, what do you think about Masvidal's bare-knuckle MMA promotion? I don't know anything about it. Mick's Partial Fart says, I found a link for it finally. The big boys are about to throw down. Yes, sir. Drew Doc says, my personal opinion is that Arnold Allen will be champ of featherweight in the next few years. Thoughts? I don't know. There's a lot of good featherweights, you know. One foot out the door says, of way worse super chats even spent on worse one. Ofon says, it sucks because I was so excited for Leon Edwards versus Usman after seeing the ending of the Diaz fight. I think he'd get beaten fairly easily. We Are Live says, Fab is a Joe Rogan of Australia. Nah. One foot out the door says, don't be ashamed for having a good time. Marshall Smarter says, it's been a while, brother. Oh, it's been a while. We're about to kick off, people. We're about to kick off in the co-main event. These two huge men, Michael Terrill and Arnold Adams. Let's see I don't think this fight's going to go outside of one round. Arnold Adams from the United States fighting his hometown is Chicago, Illinois. Shaka Garami says, Fab, what do you think are the most important traits to develop as a coach? I've been training BJJ for about 5 years now and really want to teach in the future. I think your communication skills and your people management skills are most important. Like your technical knowledge is a given. You have to have it, you know, but more importantly than that, I think is your people management skills and your communication, and also understanding what you want to do. Because running a gym and being a jiu-jitsu instructor is not the same thing as being a coach, you know. So you need to ascertain what it is that you want to do. Because a jiu-jitsu instructor runs a gym, your primary concern is people having fun, enjoying the gym, etc., etc., etc. A coach is more based on performance. So you have to figure out which one of those you are. We're off, people. This is not going to go the distance. Arnold Adams looking for a right hand lead there. Michael Terrill from England. Both guys in the orthodox stance. Oh, right-handed by Adams. Terrill looks very relaxed with his left hand there, and he likes to slide out of the way of the punches. Nice right hand to the body by Terrill. Jab by Adams. These guys are very composed, though. Oh, big right hand by Adams. Over the top. Adams was showing off some decent head movement, but I don't know if you want to be moving like that against a guy the size of Terrill. There's 48 seconds to go in this round. These guys can box. Good pummeling by both guys. "31 seconds to go." Adams very, very relaxed. So is Terrill. So there's a lot of pummeling going on here in this round. We've got Terrill pushing Adams up against the periphery of the ring. That's the round, people. Is rather uneventful. A bit anticlimactic for two guys that size. I would have thought we'd see a few more power shots. Probably, it could go the distance if they fight at this pace. They're smart. They're fighting well and they're fighting smart. They're respectful of each other's power. But yeah, very animated coach in the corner of Arnold Adams. Big right hand. The best punch of the fight was landed by Arnold Allen. Arnold Adams, sorry. It was an overhand right. Not a lot in the way of action, though, I must say. Both guys to scratch. And we're off. I'm pretty sure the ref's going to let this go until someone dies, unless someone gets knocked out. But they're not stopping this fight. Jab to the body again by Terrill. Both guys very relaxed. Jab to the body by Adams. Again with a jab to the body, Adams. Terrill goes looking for a left hand uppercut. Lead hand up. Oh, he catches Adams. He catches Adams with a 1-2. He caught him with a nice little 1-2-3. I thought that was a drop because Adams dropped down to a double leg from getting hit with that little combination, little flurry of punches. But they didn't count it as a knockdown. Again with the jab to the body. Ooh, the 1-2 goes Adams. Good combination of punches. He drops in low on those hips, does Adams, like a double leg. Marshall Smartest is going to cast this to the TV and work out. Nice. What time is it there for you? Yeah, 5 rounds. They're 5 rounds. 5 2-minute rounds. These guys are very tough 1 foot out the door. They certainly are tough. There's 28 seconds to go. Good exchanges here. Double underhooks by Terrill. 10 seconds to go. Adams seems to have caught Terrill on the way in then. And that's a round, people. What a long event. It's been 3 hours. Arnold Adams versus Michael Terrill. We're going into the 3rd round. Marshall Smarter says 12 a.m. We are live, beautiful Saturday afternoon in Auckland, New Zealand. I love New Zealand. New Zealand's such a beautiful country, man. Drew Doc says, oof, my call it a night, guys. Cheers for entertaining me tonight, Don Fabio. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Issy Kelly says, cheers for making lockdown a little easier. First time listener, won't be the last. Cheers from a Fijian in Melbourne. Thank you, my brother. I really, really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked it. Please join us tomorrow for the UFC, the event as well. I'm going to start a little bit early because I want to catch those new middleweights that are coming in. So, yeah, please, man, join us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Guys, if you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe. Hit the like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for joining us, man. I really appreciate it. Shaka Garami says, thanks for that, Fab. I guess I meant instructing rather than coaching. At what stage in your BJJ training did you start to feel confident enough to teach others? I think oh, he got him with a little uppercut. He got him with a little uppercut. So Adam's got Terrill with a little uppercut. They're giving him a good count. I think this is it. That's the round, people. That is the fight. He got him with a flush uppercut, man. That would have hurt. That would have hurt. I think it's something that to a lot of people it's pretty much innate. Like you might be one of those guys that went to the gym once and you want to show your mates, and then that becomes another thing and another thing and another thing. And for a lot of people, it's just like how you are, who you are. Um, like to teach BJJ, like I, I don't know. It's never my. I never really wanted to teach BJJ. It's still like I'll teach it and that I like, but it's not my forte. It's not the. I shouldn't say that because it's not true. Because I like teaching BJJ and I like teaching that, but it wasn't the only thing that I taught or the only thing that I wanted to teach, so to speak. So it's hard to ascertain that. Like I'm a teacher by trade. I, as far as teaching stuff, like I'm pretty confident to do it. So it just depends who you're teaching and to make it. I think a lot of the times, I mean, when people, this wasn't me, but when people are blue belts, they have a lot of the times a real pure enthusiasm for it. So um, sometimes people don't, when you're a black belt and that, like you don't. Sometimes I'm not saying me, like for me, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I enjoyed teaching, but I never really coached jujitsu until I'd probably say like a purple belt or a brown belt. But why I'm having problems saying this is because I was already like coaching wrestling by the time I got my blue belt, if that makes sense. Like I was already coaching wrestling for quite a few years by the time I got my blue belt, so it wasn't really that big of a transition for me. Um, Joseph says, Coach, how's the lockdown situation there? Are you guys seeing light at the end of the tunnel? No, no, we're not. It's pretty, the lockdown's pretty full on. Like we're in, like we're not, only one of us is allowed out of the house if we're going to if we're going to do shopping, you're only allowed once, you're only allowed to leave the house once, and only one person, like a one designated person can leave. And we're not allowed outside of the house unless it's to exercise. You can't visit anyone. You can't see anyone. Only essential workers are allowed to work. Construction has been stopped. So it's been pretty bad. Like um, in that regard, like I think what's happened as well is um, because of this particular strain that's affecting us at the moment in Sydney. Um, what they're talking about is like people aren't staying inside. They're not staying locked in, and so it's continuing to spread. And yeah, that's the situation, I suppose. You know what I mean? So until that kind of slows down, I don't I don't I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. Um, Marshall Smarter says you can start teaching a white belt, blue belt with a couple of stripes is fine for beginners. Teaching makes you better at teaching and improves your BJJ. I started teaching a blue belt and flew to black belt. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Like as soon as you can start verbalizing it and understanding why you do stuff, it really, really helps. So I think you can just start, if that's what you want to do. It helps a lot. It really does because you start to understand and you start to understand like sequential learning. You start to understand one of the people I'm talking to now that is elite, fighter, and they've gotten a fair way with that, but they don't have like sequential learning. They've got bits and pieces, so there's all these chunks missing. When you start teaching yourself, you start to understand like you'll see, oh shit, I don't know this, or I don't know that, or I don't know this part of this technique. So you start to understand how to put that together, and it really helps your game. That's my take on that. Um, soon we are about to start. Sorry, guys, I'm skipping a few. Jay LA says, tell them about the Fairfield lockdown, testing every 3 days if you want to work out of the area. Yeah, see, that's Fairfield is not even close to where I live, thank God. But yeah, like it's locked, like it's locked down, like proper locked down. Um, um, okay. Sam Gillespie says this is better value. Haven't bought anything. Who the fuck pays $40 for those two to fight? Me, unfortunately. Me. Even the main $40. Don't think so, man. Rather buy a fucking Monopoly board. Reduce that price to 10. Um. So yeah, I bought it. On board. I bought it. I wonder what the kind of ratings would be. You know what I mean? I wonder what the ratings are for this, because like just judging by like it's not like we didn't get anyone on the live chat. Like people watch it, they're interested in it. I just don't know how much if like a lot of people watch this stuff. I don't know. We Are Live says shot for buying the pay per view fat. Thank you, sir. AG says you showing the fights. I am not, my friend. I am not. Um, and thank you, Sam Gillespie. I appreciate you saying that. Joseph says at jail, sad to hear that, my brother. Hope it gets better. Yeah, I think there's been problems like with people not social distancing and that. Like people don't get it. And it's hard, man. It's sad. Like say for example, my daughter, she of course she doesn't get it. You know, we can't go over to see grandma and granddad and all of that. But the problem is, man, and I know this from people that I know around the area, people still do it. You know, people still do it, and they don't get like it only takes one. It only takes you, and then you've kicked it off with five other people, and then they spread it to other people, and it's on. So it is what it is. She's about to sing. This lady, she looks super nervous. That's how I feel when Marshall Smartest is putting the lyrics up. I feel like this lady here. I feel like so nervous, like I can't sing. Like this lady is like really getting into this where she's about to sing. Amelia Sky. So is this for a title? Didn't she lose? Didn't she lose? We Are Live says, "Oh God, this is another Triller style event." I'll be back, people. I'll be back. I am kind of leaving because I'm a little bit disgusted, but I'll be back. Okay, she's still singing. She's still singing. Okay. All right. She's finished the song. Finished the song, doing a pirouette in the center of the ring. Now she's moving towards the peripheries of the ring. The rope's being lifted, and she takes a great step out. She's out of the ring. She's gone. There's a tail of the tape. Minus 350. Favorite is Paige VanZant. She has a 2-inch height advantage and a 3.5-inch reach advantage. She has a bigger fist size, and they weigh the same. Everything else is virtually identical. Um, Jay says it's frustrating living alone and following the rules. You can't see anyone, yet people who don't live alone sneak around seeing whoever they want. Worst thing, doesn't matter if you're vaccinated. So Jay, you live by yourself during this time. How is that for you, man? How is that for you, my friend? Little Heedy says, "Yo, Fab, what's the MMA goat in your? Who's the MMA goat in your opinion?" It's hard to say, man. To compare people outside of their eras, it's really, really difficult. Um, because like the people that would have been the best 20 years ago are not going to beat the guys today. I think like guys like Demetrius Johnson have done some fantastic things, like really, really fantastic. He's a flyweight, and he did a really good job. Henry Cejudo is another guy up there. John Jones, obviously, Khabib, GSP, and I'm like, you got to compare people in the eras, right? And Anderson Silva, Fedor, Vanderlei Silva in his time in Pride was pretty amazing. Um, Matt Hughes as well, like at welterweight, he was the first guy to really stamp that down at welterweight. One of the best guys to ever do it. Um, so like, yeah, there's been now that I'm just when I'm just thinking about like all the really good fighters that there's been. Um, BJ Penn, man, a lot of them, a lot of really, really good ones. Crocop, well, I don't think Crocop, he didn't really win the title. He's like one of the better guys. Like when you talk about fighters, yeah, but he didn't win the Pride belt. He didn't win the um the UFC belt. You know what I mean? And at the time when he competed in K1, back then he didn't win the K1 belt. Um, um, Joseph says, Jay, we had that same problem here in Canada, but now everything is open, but there's still an anxiety of going back to normal, slowly but surely, mate. Yeah, I mean, we were good, man. We were open for a while. You know what I mean? Things were open, and like it was like we didn't have there was no COVID almost in some ways here. But then when this strain kicked off, it really kicked off here. It really kicked off, and I don't think people get it. I don't think people get that you have to just stop. Sam Gillespie says, "Shit happens, bro. Graft. Enjoy your time. Crush every." Sam Gillespie. It's what my dad would have wanted. So I'm just reading up here. Sorry, Sam, did your father pass away from the virus? I'm really, really, really sorry to hear that, my friend. I'm really sorry to hear that. Really sorry to hear that, man. Paige Van Zandt is about to enter the ring. Budim says, yeah, while there was a huge lockdown here in Germany, I saw in Australia everything looked normal. That's what's weird to me. It was. Everything was normal here. Everything was like, yeah. Marshall Smarter says, Fab on the big screen, your collie looks fierce. Thank you, my friend, I suppose. Nick Scala says, when's the fight? Now they're about to kick off. Paige is already in the ring. She's getting her mouth guard. Burim says, Sam, sorry for your loss, brother. Real sorry, man. For real. Now they're about to start. Jeff Houston, the ring announcer. He's announcing at the top of his lungs. I'm assuming he's announcing the girls. Sam Gillespie says, still past, man. Do your shit as someone that's been through it all. Live. I agree, man. Thank you for that. One foot out the door says, introduction starting. It is starting. Mick Scala says, how long have you been live for? 3 hours and 20 fucking minutes, man. They are dragging this fucking thing out so much. Jay says, I count my blessings. Others have it worse. Others have it worse, Fab. Still have food, roof, and a bit of Fabs. Thanks, mate. Thank you very much. Thank you, man. I wish you the best. Nikki Sculler says, and are you broadcasting the right laugh at the fight? Well, I'm not showing the video of it, no. Let's see how we go here. Girl's about to kick off. Man, this is the longest introduction ever. Like they should have done. This should have been finished. Sam Gillespie says he did everything, my guy. Literally lived up a mountain with one guy doing what he could to provide, my bro, and still got it. You do you. That's insane. Where did he live? Whereabouts was that, Sam? Nikki Scala says, oh, okay, gotcha. Joseph says, announcer's bow tie is legit. Looks like a Christmas ornament. It does, man. Please just hurry up and start the fights. Like, I'm done. We're done. You know, we're about 3.5 hours in. There's a fucking 40% chance my wife will have left me by now. You know, my daughter will have changed by the time I see her again. It's almost 4 hours, dude. Like, come on. And this, we only watched like the main card. They had prelims before this. And the level wasn't high, man. This was like worse than some of the like regional shows that you'd go in to watch in Australia, and like they just drag it out and there'd be like 3-4 auctions, you know. Marshall Smarter says, thoughts on achieving cauliflower ears and significant others' opinion. I asked mine if it would be okay with me before I pushed through more collies years ago. See, the thing for me is I'm not a very particularly good looking dude, so I never really had to worry about that. The collies are kind of like just an extension of the rest of me, really. So that never came up. They never came up. 1 foot out the door says 3 fights on the prelims. We're about to start. For the love of God, start this fight. We're off. Paige VanZant comes in super hard, but eats a big right hand from Ostovich. Stopped her in her tracks. Paige VanZant's chin is up a little high when she's boxing like that. Both girls exchanging. I think Paige VanZant, if she keeps going, is going to get hit with a right hand. She just did. Oh, Ostovich goes looking for a double leg. Oh, exchanges here. Oh, 127 ago. They're clinching. Ostovich has turned her. She's put her up against the ring. Landing the little right hands over the top is Ostovich. She's landing some shots on Paige VanZant. Paige VanZant cannot take too many of these shots. Paige VanZant lands one of her own. They're going. Ostovich swings back hard as she can. There's 1 minute to go. First round of a possible 5. Paige VanZant holding the center of the ring. Ostovich switches to southpaw and tries to hit her with the lead right hand. It's not. This isn't. Paige VanZant is walking straight into shots. Whoever said that, 1 foot out the door. Yeah, she walked straight into a couple of shots. Now they're dirty boxing in the clinch, basically exchanging uppercuts. The two of them, each one of them landing an uppercut to the body and to the head. Now they've broken the clinch and they're just swinging from. Paige VanZant gets hit with another right hand, which is getting hit kind of like on the orbital, so it'll end up closing her eye up, but she can probably take a few more of those shots as long as they're not on the temple or on the chin. But she's getting hit. She's walking straight into that right hand. That's the bell for that round, people. Sam Gillespie says the fair one will do. Paige VanZant gets done. in by the second round anyway. She doesn't understand the tie clinch. She does not. She does not. And she's also walking straight into the right hand. She's walking into the right hand pretty badly. Um, took some big shots there, man. One uh, 1 foot at the door says easy to break your hands hitting the top of the head or the elbows or wherever. Christian Lorenz says I'm very excited for tomorrow's fights, Fad. They'll be good, man. I'm pretty excited too. I'm actually very keen to watch Imavov fight. Sam Gillespie says can't find it too as per, but I know the style. Marshall Smarter says you're a fine looking gentleman, Fab. Thank you. You know what it is, mate? I have character more than I am a good looking person. Sam Gillespie says doctors stop in the third. Broom says the music between rounds is horrible. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. We're off again. Paige VanZant walks again into another right hand. Ostovich was very clever there. She dropped the level and then threw the right hand over the top. Paige VanZant coming forward slowly. But Ostovich is looking for a home for that right hand. The thing is, with no gloves, when you take the shots, the swelling and the cuts that happen start to fuck up your face. Like your face feels swollen and big, like you can't take too many of those shots just because of the damage to the soft tissue. Like even if it doesn't rattle your brain completely, like your eyes just close up, your face swells. You just see it in them. That's like when I'm watching it. Oh, 49 seconds to go. And I think for the girls, it's because they don't necessarily have the same like punching power. I think it's like the damage to the face will be bad because you just take shot after shot after shot. Oh, Ostovich moving forward. VanZant taking shots to the head. Mm. Okay, Paige VanZant trying to throw a little bit of volume there towards the end of that round. That's the round. That's the end of the second round. Both girls have taken some damage. It's, you know, kind of, I don't know. This fight hasn't done, it's a little bit lackluster, in my opinion. It really isn't kicking off. Christian Lorenz says Marshall Smartest is legendary now, and even Baby Chino admires the thumbnail. Yes, sir. Hey, Marshall Smarter says Danny DeVito is on blast. Oh, he knows, man. He knows. It's up to him to take the fight. He just has to sign the contract. He just has to sign the contract. I want the fight. My people want the fight. I just want to get paid. Paige VanZant hit him with a jab. Oh, right hand again by Ostovich. Lands right flush on Paige VanZant. Sam Gillespie says this is the first post fight that I can confidently say I'm more entertained by the comments and the fight. If that makes you feel any better, thanks, mate. Ofon says always wanted a bat for door. Marshall Smarter says sign the contract, big boy. Sam Gillespie says during the fight. What did you wonder about Fedor? He has smallish hands, but he's super quick. I figured he's broken his hands a lot. He's very quick and he has really good footwork, and that's what it was very hard for people to deal with his great judo. It's really hard for people to deal with his with that striking ability. Wait, Judoc says, wait, Sam, mate, you're an Irishman who studied in Scotland, just had to check. Juice, how similar is Scottish to Irish, the native languages? Asks Juice. "42 seconds to go. Round 3 of a possible 5. Oh, Paige got hit again. She's kind of rolling with him, but she's still getting hit with that right hand over the top. 20 seconds to go. Another right hand landed by Ostovich. Oh, and a left hand lands by Ostovich. Ostovich is landing some shots. She's landing some shots. Paige VanZant runs in and clinches, but she ate some shots there, man. And she's been hit to the body now, Paige. In the clinch, she's taken a few shots. How is her face not more swollen up? Like, Ostovich's face is a little bit banged up, but I don't know how Paige VanZant's face is not busted, like eyes not more closed up, because she's taking those shots flush. And they're working on it. They're working on it. You know what it is? She's been hit. Her face a little bit swollen. She's here. It is, but she's getting hit on the bottom of the orbital here. That's where she's taking the shots, right on the bottom of the orbital. So it's not like up where it's going to close her eye up, and it's like the best place for her to take the shot right there. So here we go. 4th round. 4th of a possible 5th. Please finish this fight, one of you, please. How's that for commentating? Please finish this fight so I can go walk my dog. Please. Christian Lorenz says, do you know how to speak any Aboriginal languages, Fab? No, I do not. Nah, words here and there, but no, I don't know how to speak any Aboriginal languages. We Are Live says, your dog is seething for a walk. He is, sir. He is. Just 1 minute to go in this round. 4th of a possible 5th. Oh, Rachel lands some big shots on Paige. Paige is in a little bit of trouble, but Paige clinches. She clinches. She's all right. She's going to be able to survive this. Man, she took a shot. She can take a shot. Clinching. She's holding on. Ostovich is working the body. I've got Ostovich winning this fight thus far. Me Sanchez says, what kind of dog do I have? Cane Corso. Mitchell Wagner says, you friends with Ty Bam Bam Tuivasa? Love that man's fights. I know him and that. He's been on our podcast and everything. He's been on the podcast. You can see it. But we're not like best friends growing up or anything. Another right hand lands by Ostovich. Ostovich is starting to land more shots and more flurries. And that's the round. That is the round. What the hell is that dog? I'll show you. Rupert. Where is he? Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, come on. You want to watch the end of the fight? She's going to watch the end of the fight. And Rupert is my dog. He's over here. He's shy. Come here. Come here. I don't know if you can see that dog. Yeah, Italian Mastiff. That's exactly what he is. I'm never ever gonna do a Shuey Mitchell ever. Let's see the end. This is the fifth round. Let's see how this goes. Both girls exchange jabs. Fifth and final round. For the love of God, finish this fight. No.
Mommy.
All right, go with your mummy. Even she didn't want to watch. Usually she watches. Usually she's pretty cool, but today she was like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing this today, Dad." 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Again, Ostovich doubles up on that right hand. I don't think it even matters with Paige if she wins or she doesn't win. She'll headline the event again because I think they paid her a lot of money. Yeah, Ostovich has found a new home. I agree with you. We are live. There's 57 seconds to go. I think Ostovich has gotten this. I don't see how anyone could give this to Paige. Maybe the first round you could give it to Paige. Maybe. Oh, Paige lands a right hand right on the chin of Ostovich. $37 seconds to go. Paige VanZant holding on for dear life. 30 seconds to go. $21 seconds to go. Oh, another right hand lands by Ostovich. Good work. 16 seconds to go. She's working the body. They're both in the clinch. Paige VanZant has a full tie clinch on her. But Ostovich is landing to the body. She lands another right hand to the head. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is probably 10 seconds to go. They're done. They're finished. I don't know who won. I'm going to say that Ostovich won that fight. So I'm going to assume Ostovich won that fight. I think it was interesting. It was different. I would like to watch the fights with you guys tomorrow. So let's get together, watch the fights again tomorrow. The UFC card tomorrow. So please join us. If you haven't already, guys, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Really enjoy watching the fights with you guys. It's a barrel of fun. Sam Gillespie, I think she lost that fight. I think Sam lost that fight. I think Paige VanZant lost that fight. And Ostovich won it. Thank you very much, Burim. I really appreciate it, my brother. Thank you so much. Christian Loren says, do you accept fan artworks, Fab? Of course I do, my friend. Of course I do. I'd accept anything from anyone, just any kind of love, anything. Please tune in tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I don't know what 1,000 on OnlyFans means. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. But I think she lost. Adam D says, best fight companion channel there is, Fab. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. Drew Doc says, cheers, coach. Great as usual, man. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you guys so very, very much. Had a great time with you guys. It was very, very, very much a barrel of fucking fun. But as they say, all good things must come to an end. And, we're getting there because I just want to see who actually wins the fight. Let's see if Ostovich gets this. I think she did. I thought she did. Ref's getting ready to call it. The guy, the pink suit, black shoes, black shirt, black hanky. I like what he's doing there. I like that he's got the courage to wear a pink suit. Not a lot of people do in today's day and age in the rough and tumble world. Right, guys. Ostovich won it. She got the decision. Thank you very much, guys. I will see you all tomorrow for the UFC card, bright and early. Take care, guys. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Lots of love to all of you. Thank you so much.